Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Hail and howdy, everybody. It's the end of the month, which means it's time for Anime Odyssey, where we only talk anime and a little manga because it's a little crossover. We can't help it sometimes, especially tonight with one of our will be a reoccurring segment every month because it goes that way anyway, so we might as well embrace it. Hi, Dermy. Taking a break from YouTubing.
Yeah, I'm taking a break. Well, I mean, listen. There is a VTuber story, because he is also a VTuber, but an anime voice actor story that I'm going to be bringing up at least either tomorrow night or Saturday. Because, well, we got a groomer. Gotta love those kinds of stories. Especially when you remember what they did to Vic Mignogna.
Yeah, who just hugged the girl.
Yeah.
Vic was just a hugger. That's all he was.
All Vic did was hug a girl, and this one is, well... Ooh.
Yeah, you told me about this, so...
yeah.
Wood chippers
all around. But yes, I've taken a break from that. Obviously, last night we didn't do a whole lot of VTuber stuff either. We talked about a dumbass and Nazi jeans. So there's that.
Yeah, I played games yesterday. I played games. I escaped from the world. Anyway, but we are here tonight. It is still our Summer of Gundam, and we are celebrating the Gundam Seed timeline. Tonight, we will be talking Gundam Seed Destiny Part 1, or approximately so. We're going to go a little beyond the halfway mark just because I think it's a nice dividing spot. So we're going to go a certain point, and then next month we'll come back and talk the finale, all the really hardcore stuff. But also, we got a couple other things tonight. This happened at the beginning of the month, okay? And I've been waiting just because I know you want to celebrate it as much as I do. This shows have faith and patience. Have faith and patience because the beginning of the month, it was announced Black Clover, our next parts are getting animated.
Bro, I'm so fucking happy that we're finally getting this.
Yeah.
I am so happy because all of you in the chat, anybody that's watching this on the replay, you want to know why I'm happy we're getting this? I've been sitting on my hands, unable to talk to anybody about what happens next now for at least 2 years, it feels like.
Yeah,
maybe longer.
It's been 3. It's been like 3 years.
Bro, the manga's just about done. I am well beyond what is about to get animated, but I'm sitting here like, no, I need this animated so that I can tell you guys about one of the big fucking twists that happens that is like, holy shit.
I know. Listen, ever since it ended abruptly, and it ended abruptly when it did. It's like, boom, done. I was like, wait, there's clearly more. Why don't we have an announcement of more? Clearly, the manga had been far enough ahead. They could have animated a whole bunch of stuff, done a whole nother season, and still been fine. But no, it ended abruptly. And I was like, all right, I have 2 choices. Oh, go ahead.
Part of the problem is why it ended abruptly was because during the arc that they actually did the abrupt end, it was when the manga actually also started having issues of being released on time.
Okay.
So it actually took them a good chunk of time to finish what is about to be animated. But that got done a year and a half ago.
Okay. But I had the choice to make. It's like, do I go to the manga or do I take one of the opportunities that I rarely get when I know this thing was, when Black Clover was released, it was successful. Hands down successful. So I thought, okay, it's over. There's no way they're not going to animate what's left. So I'm going to be patient. I am not going to jump to the manga to finish it because it's gonna get animated again. And as much as I enjoy a good manga, it's my final option when I don't think something I'm watching is going to get the remainder is going to get animated. But I knew this was going to get animated, so I chose patience, and my patience is now rewarded.
Listen.
I will. I don't know. I don't think we know when it's going to come out. I'm assuming maybe winter right now. That's what I'm assuming.
Probably around winter, if not next spring. Here's the thing, though, too, guys. They moved the manga to quarterly. They're so close to the ending. They're so fucking close, but you only get 2 to 3 chapters every 3 months now, or 4 months.
Well, how long is each chapter?
18 pages.
Wow. For a quarterly, that's really short.
That's why they do like 2 to 3 chapters every quarter.
Okay. See, there were like once in like for Claymore, when Claymore was finishing up, that was also that was monthly, but the monthly chapters were like 30 pages when they
dropped. Give me a second. Let me see. I believe the last chapters. Yeah, and May was the time when the chapters 379, 380 dropped. Oh, I get new chapters here in 11 days. Fuck yeah. I'm so I can't tell anybody about what's going on right now. I can't. And even when this comes out, I still can't tell anybody what's going on now because I'm trying to be nice.
Think about, all right, listen, once we get a release date, we'll start covering Black Clover in the lead up. Like we'll cover it so we can, get excited for it, and I can get all. I was going to rewatch it anyway, leading up to it because it's been years, and I only give it one watch through. I remember what happened, but I'd like to watch it without watching the filler this time.
I like watching it. Yeah, I even enjoy the filler because they give the filler they give
it has
a
life
bit,
in it.
The filler is one of those fillers that actually it plays into the overall story because I've read the manga. I even look at the filler episodes and I go like, oh, actually this builds out a whole lot more. It actually builds these characters and some of these dynamics a whole lot better than even the manga was able to do. So I kind of like the filler arcs as well. I'm 100%. I've watched it twice all the way through. I'm still up to date on the manga. I wouldn't. I think the beginning's slow, but it's so fucking good. It's
Well, the beginning, and we'll of course repeat these comments when we actually cover the beginning. When I first watched it, that man, this is Naruto.
Oh, 100%.
It's Naruto, but then you know what? It gets better than Naruto.
Yes,
Naruto gets lost.
I
in
still say it's Naruto. It's still its own unique version of Naruto, but it's better.
Here's the difference, and once again, these are comments I'm going to repeat when we talk about it. Asta and his dream of being Wizard King is it's Naruto Hokage. Problem is, Naruto's not a moron. Asta's a moron. He's an idiot. He's dumb as a bag of bricks. But he's good-hearted. Anyway, so I was going to plan on rewatching it when they get the announcement so I can time it leading up. Because as I said, I only watched it once all the way through, the one time when it was being released on its schedule. So I'm looking forward to rewatching it, getting re-caught up, refamiliarized with everybody, and then diving right in to the new season 3 months after it comes out because, I got to wait till it's all done. But I'm excited. This was so cool to see. And this is why I love anime, because there is great stuff being made, new stuff being made, and I love it when good stories get completed. Mm-hmm. I love it. So this is something I'm definitely looking forward to.
Oh, I'm so hyped. Mainly so I can talk to you about what the fuck happens in the fucking Spade Kingdom. Jesus Christ, you don't even know.
Surpass
you don't even know.
I don't know.
Your limits takes a whole new level.
I don't know, and I'm excited that I don't know. I'm excited. I'll be watching it, and it'll be fresh and new. No spoilers, no nothing. It'll be great. Which is why I work so hard not to get spoiled on stuff. I mean, literally, we are just a month or two away from like the end of My Hero Academia. I don't know what happens at the end. I have managed to stay pure this whole time, and it's coming out, and I'm excited to see it and how it concludes. I'm
watching Rising of the Shield Hero right now, the new season, because I fucking love that anime. I will watch that weekly just because I love it so much. I can't tell Adam what the fuck just happened because he won't watch it weekly. He wants to binge it. And it was such a great payoff.
It's my right. I'm not reviewing these things on a weekly basis. It's my right to wait and watch it however I want as a private citizen. Because I want to sit down and I want to enjoy it without stopping.
Fuck you. I want you to be my slave.
No.
Talk to me about it.
You'll get to talk to me in another 2 months.
I want to talk to you now. What happened was fucking awesome.
And it'll be awesome in 2 months when I get there.
I know, but it's right here.
I mean, like I said, I was just talking to Dermy. I just finished watching part 1 of Fire Force season 3, which is the finale. It's the end. In January, when the next part's up, that's in. It's going to be over. And it was great. And I loved it. And I enjoyed watching it all at once. Because I watched everything. I watched seasons 1 and 2, and then 3. I watched it all back to back, and it was great. I loved it so much. And you've seen this part too. What I did love about it, just because same author. At one point, when that psychopath Haumea is doing her shit, and she looks up in the sky, it's the freaking Soul Eater moon. Mm-hmm. I was like, shit, man, she did it. The Soul Eater moon in there.
So we also need a remake of Soul Eater.
Yes, I was about to say
Soul Eater,
because Soul Eater ended before the manga was done. So that was one of those instances where I had to go to the manga to finish it because the made for TV ending was dog shit. So Soul Eater deserves the full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment. It deserves that. Give it its full story because there was still like so much left that the manga was doing.
We never even got to see the battle on the moon. I've never even read the manga. I know that there's a battle on the moon, and what's his name?
I read it.
Forces open the moon's mouth.
I remember pieces. I don't remember it all, because it was just like the one time. And so I would love to get a full remake of that and enjoy it. Considering the success of Fire Force, I wouldn't be surprised if they do it. If they give it the green light.
I wouldn't either.
It's smart business. It's just smart.
I mean, Soul Eater is also like super popular. Everybody loves it. So they keep putting out the remake, like a remake, fully what it was supposed to be. Even if there's a lot of like reoccurring stuff, just doing it.
No, do it from the beginning. Give it the Full Metal
beginning.
Alchemist Brotherhood treatment. Just do it from the beginning because it was accurate right up until the end. It was accurate to the manga right up until close to the end, where they just diverged and made shit up. Though that was still the era where they would make shit up if they weren't. Because now, as we're seeing with Black Clover, with Fire Force, and all these things, if a manga is still going, or a light novel series is still going, they're happy to wait now. They're perfectly happy because there's always new stuff coming out. Every season, there's new stuff. I mean, there's like 20 shows I'm going to watch this season. It'll probably get cut down to the end to like 13 or 14, but there's like 20
I started
shows.
watching, I think it's called Gotchka. Gotchka. Let me double check that. No, that's probably not the name. I started watching a newer anime that also came out. Only 3 episodes are out and they're dubbed. That I feel like that's also going to be one that you're going to like.
I
Only
think that's
3
on my
episodes,
list.
and I'm already hooked.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. I want to build more of this universe.
Well, the thing is, I noticed a lot. There's still a couple in here, but we're getting farther and farther away from the isekai. We're leaving that era of fantasy and science fiction anime, and we're just giving you these worlds, which is good. There's still a couple.
100%.
I've seen a couple, but we're getting away.
There was one. I think it's an older one, but I watched it recently. It was like Death March through a parallel world.
Oh, I hated that. I couldn't get through like 2 episodes. I'm like, that's it. I'm out of this one. No,
it ain't good.
It was not good.
I keep falling asleep during it.
That's Death March through a parallel. That is example of overpowered done wrong.
Yeah,
I couldn't get through like 2 episodes.
So boring.
Oh yeah, I was out of that. That's one of the ones I was out of quick. It didn't even get the 4-episode test. I got through 2 episodes. Like, nope, that's it. I'm out. Not doing this.
Oh yeah, there's also more episodes of Dr. Stone coming out now, so I got that to watch.
I've never watched that. I mean, I've had like the most minute curiosity on that, but I've always kind of stayed away from that one. People say it's good, but
Gachi Akuta.
I know which one it is. The poster is coming to my mind because it's like third or 4th on live chart right now.
It actually those 3 episodes, you don't even know too much of the world yet. You don't know what the fuck's going on yet, but you get just enough to make you go like, okay, let's go. And it's a different. I can tell you about this because they show it within like the first couple episodes. It's a world of trash.
Well, I think it talks about it in the preamble because I've read most of the preambles.
It is very unique, and it's not something we've had. I think we've had like trash worlds before, but this is different than
we thought that the part was like one of my favorite recent worlds was like the Rust world in Bisco. Bisco season 2 coming out next year, man.
Bisco?
Yes,
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh man, all right, so that one's great. That's like it's a world that is rusting, and Bisco's like this super archer, and there's this other guy he meets who wants to try and cure the rust, and it's their adventure to try and cure the rust. And Bisco is awesome. Talk about zany good. It's like there's more to the title, but I just call it Bisco. That dude is freaking awesome. And it's got the glass dude doctor, his sister, has giant cans.
Oh, by the way, there's another anime that's coming out in January that I'm still looking forward to.
What?
Hell's Paradise season 2.
I haven't seen
Hell's Paradise. So Hell's Paradise got censored. It's very easy to tell that it got censored when you watch it because they removed nipples. Because there's a lot of nudity.
That's a crime.
Yeah, but it's also so it's easy to tell that, but at the same time, it's so fucking brutal. It's so brutal and has such a really interesting feudal Japan storyline about going to a island that you don't know if it's. You don't know if it's mysticalities or shit like that going on, or if it's science going on. So you got some really weird shit happening at the same time as dealing with like ninjas and overpowered people, and it's so fucking badass.
I didn't see season 1 of that one. That one does look familiar. When would season 1 come out?
I think 2024.
Oh, see, here's the thing. It says historical. I usually avoid things that have historical tags in them. I usually don't
it's not. Those. It's not historical. Not at all.
Then why does it say historical?
2023 is when it came out. I don't know why. It's probably historical because it's set in feudal Japan. That's probably why it ain't historical.
Mhm.
It ain't. It deals with like Taoist and Buddhist mythologies.
Oh, it's going to be a while before I watch.
Oh, give me a moment. My audio fucked up.
Okay.
Fuck StreamYards. Fuck it all.
It's only a problem for you. I don't have these problems. I have a camera problem. My camera shuts off occasionally. All right, we're waiting for Dermy. I want to say something to him, so I have to wait till he comes back. And here he comes. There he is. There he is. I was about to say, I actually won't be watching Gachiakuda until for a while because it's 24 episodes, so it's not going to be done.
And they took
until
I
the
noticed
fall.
they took like a break. They took a break in between because I guess they're doing not simulcasting, but they're doing, hey, they're going to do this much, and then they're going to do this much, then they're going to do this much, then they're going to do this much, because they're trying to dub it at a similar pace.
Yeah, so it's not going to be done until the end of the fall. So I'm not going to actually get to watch that one until it's done because that's 24 episodes. So
and I will. You'll watch it. I'm not going to tell you what happens, obviously, because I don't do that. I'll imply whether I think you'd like it or not.
Oh, I'm probably going to like it. Action fantasy, I usually do.
I usually do. I like the universe that they've been building out so far in 3 episodes.
You know what? Real quick, in case she comes around, Dan to Dan. There we go.
Dan to Dan. Dan to Dan.
But fuck it. But Dan to Dan. Anyway, all right.
I need to get back to the Blue Exorcist as well because I'm so confused on what the
Blue Exorcist. Oh, see, I quit out of Blue Exorcist when I realized the first season was a hatchet job to the source material.
Yeah, and then they've been trying to,
and then they tried to course correct it. And when I realized, I'm like, you know what? No, I know it was good, but I couldn't handle it for some reason.
They've been doing the same thing with Black Butler.
Black Butler. I know that too. I know they butchered Black. I never watched it. I just know that one suffered butchery last decade and the previous
season
decade.
2.
I know that suffered butchery. That was a period of time where I was doing research, looking for things to watch, long series to watch, and I looked into it. I was like, wait, it's been butchered? Never mind. Not gonna bother. But I watched Blue Exorcist season 1. I'm like, wait a minute. Then I went to the manga because I thought it was done. I'm like, wait a minute. This is what's going on here, and then I realized, screw it, I'm not gonna. And then I saw they came out with what was called the Kyoto arc or some shit like that.
The Kyoto arc, which if you watch the anime, it takes place prior to the ending of the anime because the Kyoto arc is actually like canon, and it's so fucking confusing. So I want to rewatch it just to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, so it's. I threw my hands up with Blue Exorcist. I didn't bother. Every time I do season, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I liked it, but I didn't like it enough that I'm going to work that hard to try and make it all make sense.
That's
all right. So there's our warm up. We're nice and warmed up now. So here's what I'm doing. I want to talk Gundam first because if we do the other segment, that could bog us down for quite a while. That will
bog us down for a while, and we might as well just quit trying to talk about Gundam and just talk about One Piece.
Yeah. So we are going to have a new monthly segment. So one, so that Jeremy and I stay up to date on One Piece. It keeps us up to date. And 2, we're trying to actually create some conversation here. So once we're done with our main segment, talking about the show, this month it's Gundam Seed Destiny Part 1, we will be talking One Piece current story arc plus theory crafting. We're going to weigh in on what we think might happen. We're going to start doing that.
Which that would also be a decent video to clip out, by the way.
Hence why we're doing it.
Yeah. Because, guys, we might be close to the end of One Piece, but
it's still 5 years away at least. Listen, the fact that
we're not going to do it. We're going to save it. We're going to save it because I got 2 things to show you. Because I did find the panels and images I needed.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I read through it quickly this afternoon. So the thing you mentioned before we went live, I probably missed it because I was just reading it quickly. But anyway, so we will talk some One Piece because we talk about it every goddamn month. So we might as well make it worth it. we descend into One Piece discussions no matter what. Okay. So here we are, Summer of Gundam. We are now onto Gundam Seed Destiny, the direct sequel to Gundam Seed, taking place roughly 2 years after the first series.
A lot
There's
of
been
characters have very much matured.
yes, definitely matured. Even though in some cases they hide it, Lacus. She just they just cover her up in this. You don't know
But I mean
until
that, and I mean the middle part. You mean you know the
well
thingy that
the well yeah there is the transition scene. That dress reveals everything, but in the show proper, you don't know until freedom. You don't. You
True.
just don't. And of
Hi,
course,
Sherry.
and of course, with Mir, you're distracted.
Mhm.
With Mir, you're distracted completely. Anyway, so here we are. It's 2 years later, after the events of the previous war. There's been a tentative peace. Nobody's fighting, but that doesn't mean each side, the Plants and Earth Alliance, have not been stockpiling new technology, new weapons, and that. And of course, behind the Earth Alliance is Blue Cosmos, and with the reveal, and we're gonna be jumping around a little bit because it's what's gonna happen. With the reveal that we now get. Last time we had Lord Asriel as representative of Blue Cosmos, but now we know who's at the top.
We see all the people of Blue Cosmos this
Yeah.
time. It is before it looked like it was just like maybe this
Mhm.
small little organization. No, it's fucking big.
It is essentially the shadow government of the world, led
It
by
is,
Lord Jabril.
it is the swamp.
Yeah, it's the deep state. It literally
Yeah.
is the deep state. It is in control. Everybody answers to Jabril on Earth. Because at one point during the tragedy that happens about halfway through, around episode 12-13, the president of America or the Earth Alliance, he's waiting for Jabril to give him his marching orders. So the Corpo literally controls the world. And up on the Plants, it's here's the thing. Here's the beauty of the well done writing of Destiny. When you meet Gilbert Durandal, the new chairman of the Plants, you think, man, look at this guy. He's a nice guy. He just wants peace. He just wants prosperity. No, he wants full total fucking communism.
Well, that doesn't show up until season 2, but yeah, we'll go right into it. He's a commie. He's dirty commie.
He's so much a commie. He wants to tell you your life from your. We'll get there, but
from your genes. But
yeah,
legitimately, this is the beauty of Destiny. Destiny is superior writing to Basic Seed, even though Seed's still beautiful.
Destiny is better. No, I will say it. Destiny is better than Seed.
Yes, because they make you care about so many characters. They inject so many characters, but at the same time, you love almost every single one of them, or have some sort of emotional attachment to every single one of them. Because there's a few of them that they got what they rightfully deserved, and at the same time, they know how to craft this narrative to the point that you don't know what's actually going to happen next. You don't know where this is going to go.
To your point about characters you don't necessarily hate, it feels hard. The extendeds. Stella and her two guys, Aiel and
I cannot remember their name. I remember Stella for.
I've seen this so many times. I do know the name. Stella, Aiel, and Sting, Aiel, and Stella. You realize because we remember we got hinted at it in Seed what they do to the extendeds. These kids, because these are 15-year-old, 16-year-old kids, literally trained to be killing machines with drugs and torture in a literal child killer camp run by the Earth Alliance in Blue Cosmos. So, and now the extra part of this, but this particular trio, they literally get their mind wiped after every mission, and they have trigger words built into their subconscious in case they lose control. It's the lesson they learned from the last group of extendeds who go out of control and start doing shit. This way, the trigger word doesn't throw them into some sort of. They don't keep them on that chemical clock that they were in the last one. In this one, because that was the safety lever to make sure they come back. This one is they've gone out of control. Here's the trigger word to make them retreat and go a little berserk and get the hell out of there. But those three of them, these poor bastards. I don't hate them. I pity them because they are literally.
They made these 3 characters from the last go around that you just hated because they were just awful characters.
Yeah.
Now you pity them. You feel sorrow for what they've been put through.
I mean, we could talk about this because it happens in the cutoff episode, episode 28, where we're cutting off, when Shin finally takes out Aiel in the abyss, in the water fight there outside of Orb. Aiel's last words, mother. That was his trigger word, mother. Connected to a scientist that took care of him. So these poor sons of bitches. And the thing is, after both Aiel and Stella get separated, and even when Stella got separated, they have their memories wiped at first. They don't know her, even though they were close. They do care about each other. Unlike the last group in the Seed, these 3 care about each other. They're created to care about each other, look after each other. So that's a tragedy, and it shows you the horror of what the Earth Alliance is doing in order to compete with coordinators and their genetic superiority. Yeah.
I love Destiny so much. We should explain it more, like who's Shin, who's all these people.
We'll get there.
What started it?
I just wanted to dive right into it there. Yeah.
I'll also say this. You've said it multiple times. Granted, I ended up after this. I immediately watched Freedom. Shin. I have more respect for who Shin is as a character, and that might also be because of the movie. But
the movie changes everything. The movie changes everything on Shin.
Yeah, I get where Shin comes from throughout the show, and at the same time, I fucking hate the Impulse. The Impulse needs to burn in like a pit of ash, hell, and fire. That is an awful design. I hate every second of what the Impulse represents. It's stupid.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. I have a massive hate boner for Impulse, and I don't know why.
Probably because it's a combiner. That might be part of it.
Yeah.
It makes no sense as a Gundam. It really doesn't.
It's not practical. It's so stupid. I hate it.
Here's the problem with the Impulse, and what people want to wonder. Okay, the Impulse is a 3-part Gundam. You've got the core Splendor, which is the fighter. You've got the chest segment and the leg segment. And what happens is the pilot lines it all up, it comes together, and it transforms into the Gundam that is behind us in today's thumbnail. It's essentially the Strike ripoff is what it is. It's the Strike ripoff. It has, just like the Strike, multiple combat silhouettes it can switch back and forth to. And it is superior technologically to the Strike because it's a more powerful unit for a base unit. But at the same time, as I said, to me, it's an illogical system because the time it takes for it to come together, I hate that. It's like it's essentially a magical girl transformation that doesn't belong in Gundam. Yeah, it doesn't belong. It
looks stupid. Yeah. It doesn't belong. Like, I don't mind magical girl transformations, but because G Gundam has magical girl transformations.
Gundam is its own freaking thing.
I get that. But in this one where like they've done the super robots before within Gundam, but this is just so stupid. And it's every single time you see all 3 ships come out there and replace.
And it carries on. Even later on, when it gets a new pilot in part 2, the back half of the season,
and then they end up showing off. Oh, they have replaceable parts that you could just inject mid battle. It's like, God,
it shouldn't be like that. And also the whole idea, the beam to re-energize it, that you're going to stand there. No, you're not.
It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's
the Impulse is not a good Gundam, as opposed to the other Gundams in Destiny, which are outstanding. The Gaia and the Chaos and the Abyss are very cool.
They're beautiful,
transformable, different. They're meant for different battles on different terrains, and
they really showed off, like last time when you had
the evolution from Seed. They're all evolution
from Seed. Like Seed, if I want to sit down and think about it, the main Gundams in Seed, like from part 1, including Strike, and then just had the Freedom and the Justice. Yeah. Those were the really beautiful ones, but the Earth Alliance Gundams that they ended up making for the second part, those were hideous.
Yeah,
they weren't practical. They looked illogical. And then you come here and they're like, oh, they're just so slick and beautiful. Everything is except for that.
Except for the impulse. Well, the thing about this is that the Earth Alliance, with the exception of when we talk about it next month, to Destroy, they don't design any of the Gundams. They're all designed by Zaft in this one. These are all Zaft designs.
Well, most of them are Zaft designs,
except the Akatsuki, but that's next.
The Akatsuki. Oh my god,
the Akatsuki are beautiful. The Akatsuki, that's a special case. But yeah, so the guy of the Chaos and the Abyss are beautiful Gundams. They fight so cleanly, so smoothly, and then of course we have the Impulse. So the Impulse. It's the Strike ripoff, like I said. It's got its sword silhouette. It's got its
sword cannon, base mode, everything like that.
And it has the difference. It has the one change they made from the Strike is they gave it a C capability silhouette this time. So that's the only difference, that it has one capable of, it allows it to fight in water, which the Strike didn't have. The Strike's Achilles heel, which always Kira had to always find a way around it, is when he was protecting the Archangel and they had to take out mobile suits underwater. But the Strike is capable of doing that. Anyway, so here we are 2 years later. Everything seems fine. And Kigali is on a diplomatic mission to the plants. And I will say this now. I have so many problems with Kigali in the first 2/3 of Destiny. She is just so bad at her job as the chief representative of Orb. She's terrible at her job. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what she's doing.
It's because she lives by ideals, but she doesn't understand those ideals. That's the main reason she's failing, and she cares so much about Orb that she doesn't understand that your ideals need to have actions to back them up, and at the same time, what you're doing for Orb is allowing other people to dictate what's good for Orb. It's you're not standing up for anything. You're just a figurehead, even though you think you're standing up for yourself.
Oh, well, yeah. She's being manipulated by everybody. She's manipulated by her own ministers, her own representatives, and then she's manipulated by other powers, because when she now goes to meet Durandal and everybody there, Durandal, he's a piece of work. He is the ultimate fucking politician. And his words sound beautiful with everything he says. It all sounds beautiful
to the viewer.
Yeah. Oh, listen, you're snowed for the first half of this series. If you're going the first time, you're thinking, wow, this dude's saying all the right things. Maybe we have a true leader here that wants to do better things. But everybody said, no, he's a fucking closet commie to the worst degree. But he says all the right things. He makes you feel like you should be caught up in his dream for peace and his dream for unity and this and that, when it's all a cover. But he snows Kigali because he throws at her lofty ideals of what it's like to be a leader, how to represent, and she's bamboozled by everything he says, so she's confused. But of course, Kigali, with Athrun there posing as Alex, which nobody buys because he's a war hero.
Okay, the politicians don't buy. Everybody else, like the soldiers, they're like, "Oh, you're Alex, okay?" Because
they've never seen him. They haven't.
Yeah, they've never seen them. But all the politicians take one look at him, like, "We know who you fuck.
You're Athrun Zala. We know who you are.
Yes,
we know exactly." So Athrun's there in his security guard getup with those sunglasses that drive me crazy. His complete wraparound fix. But he's there as her security guard. Of course, they're in a relationship. It's kind of on everybody knows it, but they try to keep it on the down low. And they get caught up as an Earth Alliance strike force made up of the new Extended, Stella, Aiel, and Sting, steal the latest generation of Gundams, the Chaos.
And who are they led by? Who are they led by?
Oh, they're led by Neo Roanoke, who is our pseudo Char insert, but not really. Not really. But he's wearing the helmet, so it's He's there for the beginning. And as soon as you know it,
we all know it. The
We all
moment
know
he
it.
shows up, you hear it in his voice.
Y'all know
you
it.
see it in the hair. We all know who he is. I'm gonna spoil it now because everybody fucking knows the moment he shows up. It's goddamn fuck. I just had his name. It's
Moo
fucking
LaFlaga, bitches.
It's Moo LaFlaga.
It's
You
Moo.
don't know how he survived yet. You just know it's him, and it's like you have.
And
the
eventually,
exact
when you
same
do learn,
voice.
it's like a quick little screen flash of him surviving and getting rebuilt and
It's
this
like
stuff. And, well,
his mind's been altered. He is Neo Roanoke. No, you're Mula fucking LaFlaga. We all see this coming from a mile away.
Captain Neil Roanoke. Remember, that's his thing. Remember,
That's right.
It's Captain. It's Captain. I didn't get
like
it.
I'm pulling up images right now just to show it off.
But
and even when you Google Neo Roanoke, they're like, yeah, it's Moo. It's Moo. It's fucking Moo. Moo's right here. I mean, I love this new design. I love this helmet design.
Well, that's a great helmet.
It.
That's a sinister helmet. You know?
Oh, it's so good. And I mean, his first fight, he's in a ship. He's not in a Gundam. He's in a ship. And it's like, who's the other guy?
He's in a mobile armor. He's in a freaking mobile armor.
And he's super fucking skilled. It's like,
yeah, I mean, they're not even trying. It's like, listen, we know it. You're intelligent. You understand it. But just wait. It'll play out. That's essentially it. Just wait. You'll get it later on.
I think most people are wondering, is he a clone of Moo? Because
no, it is Moo. No, it is Moo. He's got the scars to prove it. He's got the scars from what happened last time to prove it. But that's part of the greatness. Neo Roanoke. Here's the thing. So the Gertie Lou, which is the ship, or also what was Phantom Pain. His crew is called the Phantom Pain, which that's a great name when you think about it, because Phantom Pain, the limb that isn't there, the pain you don't have anymore, but you still think that's a great name for his strike force. Phantom Pain steals the Gaia, the Chaos, and the Abyss, and it's your standard opening, just like Seed. It's a steal, and there is still one Gundam left that will be piloted by Shin Asuka, our hero, our protagonist for Destiny. No, not really.
100%. He is our protagonist, and we all love him because he's obviously going to be better than anybody else. And nobody else matters. There's no other heroes.
No. So Shin Asuka, the pilot of the Impulse Gundam, he is put out there, and are you trying to start another war? What's the matter with you? It's right away. Listen, we'll go with this now. For 49 episodes, you're going to hate Shin. You're going to hate him. He's disrespectful. He's an asshole. He's a prick. Every adjective you could think of.
You're right, but let's be fair to him a little bit. Because the show throws you just how fucked up his life is from the very beginning.
Okay, let's cut to the prologue. So cut back, because we actually get to the prologue. We skipped ahead. In the prologue, it's the Battle of Orb, where the Freedom and the Justice were battling the Earth forces. And during the battles, we saw it in the remastered versions of Seed. There's a battle and explosion on the ground. You saw Shin, his sister, Mayu, and his parents running for their lives to try and make it to an escape boat. But there's an explosion. And this time you see the whole thing. And graphic, because what happens is there's an explosion because his stupid, retarded sister had to go back for her phone. But no, Shin says, no, I'll go get it. So because Shin went to get her phone, he wasn't with the group as a stray blast reflected by one of the enemy Gundams explodes on the ground and annihilates his family. And Shin goes over to think, he still thinks his sister's alive, but no, it's just her severed arm.
You see his dad's dead. You see his mom's dead. These aren't pretty. These are lumps of flesh.
Yeah, the bodies are contorted. There's blood everywhere, and he just finds his sister's arm, and that breaks him.
That breaks him. So when he's a dick, he's a jackass. He's belligerent. You have to take that into account. Plus, you have to take into account he's been manipulated for a very long time.
Oh, well, he's little bits. He's been indoctrinated into the Zaft ideology. But once you get into the show, the manipulation done to Shin is a crime, both by Ray and Durandal.
Mhm.
Because remember, we can't spoil this now because that's a second half of who and what Ray really is. But I have a nickname for him that I can't use until we get to part 2. I have a nickname. Jeremy's heard me use this nickname before.
Yeah.
And it's true. But this is the beauty of it when you get to the final parts and how poignant all the storylines for both series get tied together in that moment and why it's so good. But anyway, so Ray manipulates Shin into doing things a certain way, but then once Shin is praised, starts getting praised for his abilities as a Gundam pilot, even directly by Chairman Durandal, the propaganda and manipulation. He is so. Here's the thing about Shin, and you get this early on. Shin doesn't know what he's fighting for. That's Shin's problem, and he gets it. He gets that put into his head because there's one point where once they're on Earth, after all the stuff goes on in space, he's going to run into Kira at the monument in Orb to the battle, and you get it that he doesn't. Shin doesn't know who he's fighting for or what he's fighting for, and because he doesn't have that, Durandal gets to Durandal and Ray fill him with the propaganda. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, I was going to respond to Frank Blaz. I cannot
Just say Frank. Just say Frank.
I was going to respond to what Frank said here. I would agree, actually. Yes, he is a counterfeit. More Camille. I'm butchering that guy's name. He's from Gundam. Zeta Gundam. He's from Zeta Gundam.
Okay, I've never seen Zeta Gundam.
He's the Zeta Gundam. That's rough. He's the main character for the majority of Zeta Gundam before it goes back to Amuro.
There you go. But that's it. So, and here's the thing: Shin, he thinks that brute force is the only way. There's no, unlike Kira, who didn't want to fight. Shin wants to burn the fucking world with his rage. Because here's the thing: Shin is a rage monster. For this entire 50 episodes, 48, 49, depending upon the intermission episodes and the recap episodes. Shin is a rage monster. He wants to destroy everything. And that's why when we're stopping at episode 28, it's one of the darkest moments for Shin, considering everything.
They said it last time in Seed that the seed mode varies from essentially person to person.
Yeah.
Shin's seed mode is berserk. It is just berserk.
He look at his animations. Whenever he goes nuts. Kira is calm, collected. Atheron's calm, collected. Shin is just all rage, screaming, shouting, "I'll kill you! I'll destroy you! I'm gonna do it." It's pure rage.
But parts of the things I do like about Shin is how he is so disillusioned with the idealism of Orb that he calls Kigali to the plate so many times. I want him to get punched out, don't get me wrong. But he doesn't say anything wrong, especially to Kigali at that point in time, because Kigali is just idealism.
She's an idiot,
not actions.
And that's his thing, because Shin is from Orb. He has a massive hate boner for it, because there's a line later. You're so angry because you truly do love Orb so much. That's why you're so angry, because it failed you in the end. It got your family killed. And it didn't. And Kigali is just mouthing the ideals without understanding. I mean, it's going to be. Kigali doesn't understand these ideals until episode 38. She doesn't understand it until episode 38.
Yeah.
39 when she gets 37, 38, 39 when she gets Akatsuki. She doesn't understand it till then. Her father's, the Lion of Orb's last words to her is what finally brings it home. Because,
go ahead.
One of
and again, everything you say about both Shin and Kigali are factual, but the reasons I also give them a little bit of the break is because Kigali never got the proper teaching. She only got words. She never got the proper teaching. So she was thrusted into this position that she didn't understand fully. She never grasped with just how she's supposed to do this. She only had like the ideals to fall upon. So that's why she deals with a lot of the stuff and is floundering, because she wasn't taught. She
also left. She left to go fight or to go see what was going on rather than staying there and learning from her father.
Yes. So she wasn't prepped for this. She thought she was. She thought she could do it, but she obviously wasn't.
Unlike Lacus, who is who is the best of us. Lacus truly is the best of us.
100%. Lacus gets some Lacus. I'm gonna keep doing that. Fuck you. Lacus gets some really
20
good
years they called her Lacus.
I don't give a shit. Dan to Dan. She gets some really good, like, just moments, just fantastic, showing off her ability to be a politician, showing off her ability to be a true leader, and more than just a figurehead. Because if you actually even compare her to Kigali, Lacus has all the training she needs and can do both the figurehead position and the politician position. Kigali can't do the politician position, but she can do the figurehead position.
Yeah, because she has the
Kigali needs Lacus to kind of teach her some of those ropes, and then she needs her father's words to also help guide her in that regard.
Yeah, there is a great bath scene between Kigali and Lacus.
Yes, there is, but also there's another good thing that shows you that how people misunderstand Lacus or Kigali, or how this is the ideas of figureheads with the person that's supposed to be, the propaganda arm for Lacus. What's her name again? I can't think what it is. It's
Mir.
Lacus. Mir. Yeah, Mir is the propaganda.
Mir and her big old titties.
Oh God.
Now listen. In the original version, you didn't get this. In the remastered version, when she wakes up, because she's still pretending to be Lacus and she's still pretending to be Atherin's fiance. So at one point when they come together, we'll talk about this. She sneaks into his room and she wakes up. She's wearing a see-through nightgown, and it's you. So you say, man, I wish that we could get this like perfect style animation. When you see those titties, there it is. They give you, and it's essentially Lacus. It really is.
They jiggle.
It is
jiggle physics. I'm like,
yeah. It's glory. Listen, Gundam never wants for beauty. There's beauty all over this, and all the female characters, their boobies of varying sizes, jiggle and wobble. And listen, Maru is still the queen of action jiggle in her captain's chair. Whenever someone's like, and they just go everywhere. When she's holding onto that chair for dear life, her titties just bouncing, and it's glorious.
Steed is pure beauty.
Fan service and fan service, because we see little bit of tasteful nudity. A for fan service. It's great. It delivers so much, and you get astral nudity too. The astral nudity is it's a standard. It happens where they have no nipples, but still there is astral nudity. Anyway, so back onto the main story. So what happens is, just like actually different than Seed. The only thing is the instigating incidents. It's the only something. After that, instead of being chased, our protagonists are doing the chasing this time to try and capture Phantom Paint and retrieve the stolen suits, instead of being chased by the suits like the La Crusade team was chasing the Archangel. Except this time, it's the Minerva. Now, the Minerva is a beautiful ship.
I think the Minerva is superior than the Archangel.
It has a better design than the Archangel. I'll give you that. It looks sleeker, cooler, but the Archangel is still the Archangel.
I understand your love for the Archangel, but I have the Minerva right here.
Oh, the Minerva is glorious. It's a glorious ship. Except like every time they open the main cannon, fire Tannhauser! Fire the Tannhauser!
I like it.
Every time
I love it. Every time they say it, I love it.
And the Tannhauser is just a giant target for Kira.
It is, but I love the Minerva. Just look.
It's great. It's a great design. No, it's a beautiful ship. It's a beautiful ship.
And it ends up becoming my second favorite ship.
Oh, listen. What we get in Freedom is the best of both worlds.
Yes, that's the best of both worlds. That's why we can agree on that one.
Yeah.
Archangel is probably your second favorite, but the one in Freedom.
I love the design of the Minerva. I think it's great. I think it looks fantastic.
I love actual warship style design, so that's why I gravitate towards the way the Minerva looks. I think it's sleek. I think it fits what it needs to do and how it's supposed to be representing. That's why I gravitate closer to that than the Archangel, which I view the Archangel as being kind of a party boat. We're not trying to like knock it or anything, but like I look at the Archangel.
Design is awkward. I'm not going to deny the design is awkward. But anyway, so the Minerva is specifically designed as the ship to house the Impulse and its support gun or support Zaku's. We're back to Zaku's, Jeremy.
Yeah, they're done calling them like whatever the fuck they were calling them. The
Jins and shit in there,
Jins,
and all
yeah,
those
they have them,
goofs
but they're like, no, we're
back to
going
Zaku's and
full on to
Goofs.
Zaku's.
We're back to Zaku's and Goofs.
Goofs, Doms,
Yes.
everything. They're just back.
Yeah, it's like we're not even
We're
try.
done trying to even maneuver around it and deny it. No,
Zaku's and Goofs, baby. So you've got the Zaku's. Ray pilots the white Zaku. We got the Luna Maria Hawk, the Hawk sisters, powering the red Zaku. You got Luna Maria's sister, Mirin Hawk, who is part of the bridge crew. You've got Captain Talia and her giant titties. And you've got Arthur, who is just ridiculous. Her CO, her XO, he's just ridiculous. How does he have his job? That's what
I think. I think he's skilled in what he does. He's just a ridiculous character. He's kind of goofy and stuff, but he's very capable of his abilities and things like that. And what I also love is like when you look at the Minerva's crew and who they all are and how they all interact versus the Archangel's crew. The Archangel's crew was more dysfunctional.
Well, they were slammed together. They weren't a real
they were
crew.
slammed together.
This is a true
crew.
trained. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, they had different energies about them. They had different perspectives. When you take a look at, I can never remember the names, the leader of Minerva, and you compare that to Talia compared to, I literally just said her name. Maru. When you look at their comparisons, she has similarities to Maru, but kind of leans more towards what's her nuts that sacrificed herself.
Yeah. Nataro.
Badgerul. She leans a little bit more towards Badgerul with very like kind of strictness on the rules, how we go about doing this.
Well,
very prim and proper.
Talia Gladys was trained to be a captain. Maru Ramius was not. She was never supposed to be a commander. But Captain Talia Gladys is supposed to be a captain. She was trained for the position. Former lover of Gilbert Durandal. And while he's on board in the situation, they have a little happy time. He's in her room. They naked. They
fucking.
Yeah, they picked up where they left off. After her,
I will say, this isn't. They don't even do this in Freedom. I wish they built more on Shin and the Hawk sisters' love.
All right, listen. When we get to Freedom, where there's a whole conversation about what should have been. I mean, I'll say it now and I'll say it again in September. They had a whole season planned for this. It wasn't just going to be a movie. They settled for a 6-episode movie arc, which essentially is what it was. They had 24 episodes, 50 episodes planned for this thing. And you know what they did. And somewhere along the line, they said, listen, just make it a movie. Get what you still can get in there. There are plot arcs that are introduced and left completely hanging. You can tell we're going to be literal season arcs for 50 episodes. You could tell, but we'll get
connections that I
out of nowhere.
They kind of established like the Hawk girl, the oldest Hawk girl has feelings for Shin. They established that for
in this one
for a while, and I just want them to get together. That's all I want. I just want them to be happy together.
Well, you get that in Freedom. You get that. You do get it in Freedom.
Sort of.
Well, here's the point, though. There's whole things in Freedom that were left on the cutting room floor in terms of what they wanted to do. You can tell. We'll talk about more of that in September when we talk about it. But and it pains me because I'm like, wow, there are certain things introduced concerning Lacus and this and that movie's like, whoa, where'd this come from? You're first telling me this now, and you're just leaving it. You're not touching on it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just, wow. So we'll have those discussions. And maybe someday they'll decide to redo Freedom as a series.
Do it.
Maybe.
Do it.
Maybe.
Bandai, listen, I understand that you guys are on top of the world right now utilizing Uemasame. You guys are actually like seeing success again. I get it. The Gundams that you've been putting out have not been succeeding, but C does. Give me that fucking season.
Give me Freedom. Give me Freedom a season. The movie's great, but give me Freedom. And bring back Yuri Lowenthal, god damn it. Why couldn't you get Yuri Lowenthal to reprise Kira? Why couldn't you do that? It's not hard. It's not hard.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Anyway, I love
that's
you,
September.
Bandai.
That's September.
I love you, Bandai.
Bandam, just do it.
I love
do
you. Please. Get your head out your ass. Quit with the Witch of Mercury and whatever the fuck you're
Or
doing with the other shit.
this Gundam mixed thing they did that ended last thing. I didn't watch. Did you watch it? I didn't watch it.
I've only seen bits. It looks weird.
It's not Gundam.
It's gang fights, from what I understand.
Yeah. Anyway, let's stay on target here. All right, so the Minerva chases after Phantom Pain, and we go through a bunch of misadventures for the first 10 episodes where it's learning the characters and that the character interactions are important, where you're establishing that essentially for the first part of this, Athrun is really our main character right now because he is lost since the end of the last war. By choosing to stay in Orb with Kigali, he kind of lost himself. He lost his purpose. We talked about Shin has no purpose. Athrun really has no purpose. He forgot all the lessons he learned from the last.
I disagree.
Series. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I think Athrun's not Athrun. Oh, wait, we're talking about Athrun, right?
Athrun.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Athrun loses his purpose because, again, he was soldier of Zaft. Without Zaft, without being the soldier, what is he? He doesn't know who he is. And I'm not going to say he's lost those lessons. It's just
he retarded. And I'm using the word retarded is not the thing. He retarded in his development. He devolved.
Yeah. I would say it's more somebody that after retirement, like he's retired now. He's security for Kigali. And they end up establishing he loves Kigali. Kigali loves him. They can't actually get married because of how Kigali has established herself at Orb and all the things that they do there. So they can't actually be a couple, but they are a couple.
Yeah.
We know this to be a fact right now.
He's banging her.
Oh, 100%. They are fucking hardcore. They love each other. They both taste colors whenever they're together. Anyways, she bounces on it crazy style. Anyways, okay. I view him as being the man who's lost after retirement. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. He doesn't know where to go with it anymore. All he's ever known is war, conquest, fighting, soldier of Zaft. And I get it. Kigali ended up telling him, hey, you need to find who you are. You need to do your thing. But at that time, it was still fighting, being near Kira, doing stuff with Kira, being a warrior. He doesn't know what life is not being a warrior. So now he's off again. So yes, he is lost and he has regressed, but he's lost and regressed because he has no direction. He truly had no direction after he confronted his father. He really just became dust in the wind.
Yeah. So Athrun's he's just kind of along for the ride, and he helps out during the battles. He gets in Zaku's to help out fight. But of course, and right away, Durandal starts to mess with his head. Oh, wouldn't you be better off fighting for a cause, fighting for a purpose, having a need again with a focus, a laser focus, protect, stop this stuff, and eventually it's, oh, don't you want to help us stop what's going on here? Because
he gets a new Gundam.
And well, he gets 2 Gundams in this. Well, so does everybody. All our main pilots get at least 2 Gundams in this. So
except one person only gets one Gundam.
One Gundam, but she does get a second mobile.
Well, I was talking about him.
Oh, him, yeah. So what happens is, as the chase goes on, at one point, the Minerva gets a report that they need to go check out the remains of Junius 7, the site of Bloody Valentine, where Earth nuked the plant, which is where Athrun's mother was staying. And here's where I'm going to drop something on you. I've watched this so many times, and I think there's enough subtle evidence. What we learn here is that there are a bunch of radical Zaft soldiers who are there planting bombs to shift the orbit of remains of Junius 7 to crash into Earth. And this is a planet-ending event here. If the giant satellite, the remains of essentially a space station, would crash into Earth. And they want to wipe out all the naturals. I'm going to pose this to you, and I've seen this so many times. You've seen it a couple of times. I want to know if you're on what I'm thinking. I've seen enough evidence that Durandal was behind it.
Oh, I 100% agree.
He stoked these guys into doing it to set into motion his plans, to unite the world behind him and his belief system.
Oh, I agree, because Durandal's entire thing was to always destroy Blue Cosmos, do all that with Blue Cosmos.
Yeah.
And I can Durandal, when you see Durandal a lot, he's playing chess. He
Yeah.
plays chess by himself. He's always
He's playing chess with the ghost of Rao. Is
Well,
what
yeah.
he's doing.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's playing chess. You know, he's making those moves, and they do a great job at showing just how long of a game he has fucking been
it was
playing.
all planned out. Everything to the moment at the second half stuff of Orb, it was all planned out, and everybody played into his hands every single time because he knew what Jabril and the Earth Alliance would do it every step of the way. And so the whole thing to bring down Junius 7 on Earth and to heroically send in the Minerva to save it and to try and mitigate it, but they still didn't because there's a big battle there. We get Izak, the Jewel team comes in. We get Izak and Diarca reintroduced. And what's cool is you watch Izak, Diarca, and Atherid in Zaku's beat the shit out of the Gaia Chaos in the Abyss because they're veterans. And that's the remark.
At the same time, the Gaia, Chaos, and Abyss are there to help them, but they don't realize that they're there to help them because nobody knows who's actually doing this. And you're right. The show doesn't actually tell you who set this into motion. They just give you hints.
There are clues later on in the season that show Durandal was pulling the strings. There are clues later on. I've seen them enough times.
And I agree with you. I 100% believe Durandal was doing it. And you're right. There's clues, but they don't outright tell you.
They require you to be intelligent and put the pieces together yourself. They're not going to hold your hand. They're not.
They're not holding your hand at all. They'll drop a little thing here. They'll drop a little thing here. They'll drop a little thing here, and they'll go like, "Okay, you put the pieces together because you're smart."
Yeah, because Durandal cannot pull his plans off unless the remains of Junius 7 crash into Earth, and it does.
Yes. Unless the people of Earth back up Blue Cosmos and then end up seeing the destruction that Blue Cosmos can do. Unless the people of Earth see just how chaotic their ways have been. And unless the people of the plants end up also seeing just how awful everything can be. Essentially, they need to start another
World
War II.
Another war.
They need to start, but much worse than the last time.
Yeah, and it is worse because remember, nuclear weapons are on the table now. And jammer cancer technology exists. And so what happens is there's a big fight there, and the Minerva team manages to break up enough so that it's not a world-ending event, but it's still a massive worldwide disaster as the remains crash Earth. And at one point, as the battle begins, you see Kira on the beach watching, and we've only had a glimpse of him before. This is our first reintroduction of Kira into the series. And he goes, "Oh, here's Kira. All right, great." And we learn that him and Lacus have been living with the orphans from Orb, with the priests from the first show. And it's just been kind of nice and happy. They literally removed themselves from everything. And what happens here now is during that, and this is one of the best insert songs, and it has to be listened to in Japanese, not English. It must be done in the Japanese vocals. Lacus's Tears of Hope. Not Tears of Hope. Shit. Blood of Hope. Shit, I just forgot it. I have it. No, hang on. Fields of Hope. One of the best Lacus insert songs. It just breaks your heart. And it has to be the Japanese vocals. Do not listen to the English vocals. Got to listen to the Japanese vocals. They're just better. It's just better in the native language it was written for. So Fields of Hope breaks your heart as you're she's singing it to the kids to keep them calm. As you're watching these meteors, this debris crash in, tsunamis, earthquakes, explosions. It's devastating. Millions of people, billions of people lose their homes, their place to live, refugees everywhere. And then Blue Cosmos is going to try and take advantage of this. They think, oh, we're going to herd the cattle. We're going to stoke the flames of war. But Durandal expected this. And he has the Minerva.
It was all Durandal's plan. Every ounce of it was Durandal's plan, including everything on the Minerva is Durandal's plan.
Yep. Now, Durandal had exited the Minerva at this point as it went into battle there.
Prior to, I will say this, just going back a little bit, prior to Atherin being on the Minerva and everything, we did get, you mentioned it, we saw glimpses of Kigali on Earth with, I just had his name and I lost it. Our main Amuro.
Oh, Shin?
No, not Shin.
No, Kira.
Kira. Why was I blanking on Kira's name? I don't know.
I don't know.
But we saw Kigali on with Kira, not Kigali, Lacus with Kira.
Kira, yeah.
Okay, we saw them on Earth, and then shortly after we see them on Earth, we see Kira.
What's going to happen here? I'll streamline it for you. Yeah.
On the plants.
Yes, in
and
that
you get
moment,
confused because there's Mira.
In what happened is that when Durandal's back on Aprilius, you see him in his office, and you see a woman in there, and I'm like, wait, that looks like Lacus, but he hadn't put her. This is where he puts Mir into play to distract everybody. So now we get the introduction of Mir Campbell, who is pretending to be Lacus. She has been surgically altered physically. Her face. She always had big titties, but she had her features altered, and even her voice altered. She sounds like Lacus when she sings, but she had a lot of things altered to be Lacus, except we call her Slutty Lacus.
Sexy Lacus.
She is Slutty Lacus. Dude, she is a horn dog. She's a horn dog because what's going to happen is
she wants to fuck Kira.
Yes.
Not Kira, but
Athrun. She
wants to, because let's be fair here. Everybody still believes that they're fiancés.
Yeah.
It was never announced that they weren't.
Yeah, that never got pulled out of public eye. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, we have to be together. So anyways, we'll get to that. So everybody's on Earth now, and what happens is the Minerva docks an orb after the events. And Athrun and Kira, we're going to see Kira's like silent protagonist right now. We see him, but he says nothing.
I think he says a few things, but you're right. He's mainly silent because Kira's...
Yeah. He's a sleeping giant. He's a sleeping
giant, but at the same time, he's happy where he is. He gets to be with Lacus. He gets to just relax on the beach. And his whole goal is to protect Lacus. He loves Lacus.
It's just protect Lacus. Yeah, and keep her safe. But that's because... Here's the thing. So now Wars breaks out, essentially. War's broken out. The Minerva's getting repaired. And now Kira says to Athrun, we're thinking about going back to the plants. That's what he says. They're driving in the car. It's a great scene where Athrun is driving. He's like, we're thinking about going back to the plants, but we're not sure. Can you tell us about this Durandal guy? And Athrun's like, oh, he seems okay. He's all right. I think I'm going to go talk to him because a lot of events are going to conspire now where we learned that Maru and the remaining crew of the Archangel are working at Morganright.
Same with the Desert Tiger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
I 100% thought Maru and him were fucking.
I thought they were banging too, but they're not. It's just they're commiserating with each other because of what they lost. I mean, shit, I just forgot Desert Tiger's real name. I just forgot it. Shit.
I just remember Desert Tiger.
I know his name. We're going through too many names. I got to get.
That's the problem I'm having.
Well, I've seen this so many times that I know these names. I remembered it last time we were talking about it. Gundam, Desert Tiger, Waltfeld. I remembered it without finishing. Andrew Waltfeld. I knew as I started doing, I remember. Yeah, Waltfeld and Maru, they're commiserating because he lost his girlfriend during the battle with Kira, and he keeps her naked picture on his bed, on his shelf near the bed. And Maru is still brokenhearted over the loss of Mu. So they just commiserate with each other. And because at one point when they get back to Orb, and while they're getting repairs, we get a shot of the Orb politics going on. That Yuna, who is this floppy-haired fop who is Kigali's betrothed, his arranged marriage, he's basically planning with his family to turn everything over to the Earth Alliance to sign a treaty.
They want to, like, all the politicians at Orb are some of the
they're terrible,
scummiest.
Well, they're the survivors. They're the ones who ran in the last series.
Yeah,
instead of the ones with Azula who stayed. Not Azula.
Kigali has nobody who's like truly loyal to her. Everybody else
you're
is
right.
Really manipulative, and that's part of that. That's the other thing with Kigali is like she's a rock in a hard place. She doesn't know what to do. She's around people that just want to weaponize her and use her, and basically position themselves and take them away from Orb's ideals. So you have some of those scummiest bastards out there that I didn't cry.
The Sayrams, the Sayrans, Roma Sayran and his father. They're terrible people, and his mother. His mother is also a horrible woman. But
I didn't cry when bad things happen to them.
Oh, Yuna gets everything he deserves. He gets everything, and it's glorious when it happens. It's glorious. Anyway, so the Sayrans are really the power right now in Orb. They're using Kigali, like you said earlier, as a figurehead, and she can't do anything about it. And Atherin now feels powerless to help her. So during all of this, Atherin takes the ship. He takes up to Randall on his offer and goes back to Aprilius, where he's going to be reinducted back into Zaft and made a member of Faith, which we learn is essentially the special forces of Zaft, the superior, the elite of Zaft, who only answer to the chairman. They can do whatever they're like specters. If you play Mass Effect, they're essentially specters. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They only answer to one person, the chairman. So Atherin gets made a member of Faith. He's going to go back and give Talia orders that she's going to be Faith. But meanwhile, back on Earth at Orb, what the Sayrans are going to sell out the Minerva. And at this point, you're thinking, man, you're behind the Minerva. Even though Shin's a dick, you're still supporting the Minerva and this and that. And, oh, wait a minute. Is this the point? I think there's this period of time also is when Shin meets Stella, too, for the first time.
Yes, this is on Orb is when they meet Stella because they're going around. I think it's on Orb. It might be after
it's
Orb.
Orb. No, it's Orb. Area. No, it's Orb because they were scouting it for the Earth Alliance because they were in there looking around because it has to be now because from this point forward, Shin doesn't know he's fighting Stella in the Gaia whenever they're fighting.
Yeah, and Shin basically falls in love with Stella because he sees her titties.
Yeah, he saw her naked, and also he sees her as a surrogate. It's really weird because not only does he fall in love with her because he saw her titties, but also because she's as helpless as he feels his sister was. It's really fucked up. His whole relationship with Stella is dysfunctional as hell.
Yes, it is dysfunctional, but
she has the mind of a child
because of all the abuse that she's been put through. So you're like, oh, I just want to hold you. You kind of agree with how Shin treats her. Yes, it is. I see my sister in you, which is weird, because you also want to put your dick in it. But at the same time, you look at it, it's like I think anybody who would see Stella would want to treat Stella with kids' gloves and put her up on a shelf because you don't like what she's being forced to do.
Oh no, Stella is a sad character. I have no problem with Stella. It's Shin's relationship with her that I have a problem with. His obsessive relationship with her after knowing her for literally a couple of hours. He becomes obsessed with her, and it's unhealthy with the way it is. Because I mean, he gives her the memento, his little bit of that, and she retains some memory of him even after memory wipe. And that's important when they meet, because then their relationship just goes off. Because they're going to keep fighting while they're on Earth, and he doesn't know it until after the Gaia crash lands with a particular during the whole Ardennes incident, which is such an important scene because we will cover that. It's in the scope episode 24, 25 when the Dardanelles when that shit happens. So during all this other parts too, where are they? Where was I? Okay, so what happens is the Sayrans are going to sell out the Minerva, and what happens is Waltfeld and Baru call them up. You gotta run right now, or you're gonna get caught. And I love that scene because Maru's just standing there laughing while Waltfeld's putting on a radio show for the Minerva. It's like, yeah, you guys better run. We're just say that I'm reporting from. I'm friends with the Desert Tiger. And Maru's just like you are the Desert Tiger. I love that moment. And then the Minerva leaves quickly, but then of course there's Phantom Pain waiting right outside the borders. And what happens is, then Orb says, if you try to come back in, we're going to shoot you down. And it's a really good line right there that says, Orb ships never miss. And they're shooting and they're missing. But it's just
because the Orb soldiers, which I love, the Orb soldiers do follow the ideals of Orb. They are the characters that Kigali else like. Kigali wishes
the military supports her. The military supports Kigali.
The military is on Kigali's side because they loved her father tooth and nail. They do as they're told. They do as they're told, but they follow the true ideals of Orb that Kigali wishes she could follow.
And she understood and could follow. So they do stuff, and that particular ship right there with that captain and his crew are important for two reasons. I'll say this now. One, that's the captain that after the Battle of Orb helped Shin. He helped him. He said, "Are you okay, son? Let's get you to some shelter." And of course, his crew is important because we're going to see at the end of our segment today. So the Minerva is forced to fight her way through.
They also have to go instant upgraded armored one, mobile armor, right?
Oh no. He's got a Windam. Neo Mu is now in a Windam. It's a new type of Earth Alliance Gundam.
Was it Neo Mu no, I thought they were fighting against one of the upgraded mobile armors that had like the shields and stuff.
Oh no, that's later. That's okay. When they're going through the desert. That's one of the I hate that fucking arc with the little girl who's so annoying and Shin has to fly through the canyon with the impulse. I fucking hate that part.
I'm pretty sure I slept through that both times I watched it because
it's a terrible arc. It's so bad. All you need to know is it introduces the new mobile armor with some shields. Okay. Well, they do introduce the mobile armor in this one. You see it again there. Yeah, but that one is on the mountaintop there. It's the same mobile armor. But yeah, they introduced the mobile armor.
They introduced those here. That's why Shin had to do it because Shin was the only one that could overcome her.
This is where Shin goes seed mode for the first time.
Which is pure berserk.
Pure berserk. And he just starts destroying ship after ship. There's these great shots of Sword Silhouette Impulse just surrounded by fire as just this giant, hulking, demonic creature.
I know Kira went berserk a few times before and could do similar things, but it was such a different feel. Like this was full-fledged berserk where Kira's
yelling,
berserk
screaming, cursing.
Kira's berserk was like being pushed to go berserk. This is I want to do this. I want to reveled in you all.
Shin reveled in killing. Kira never liked killing. Shin at this point in the series, he likes killing. It makes him feel good to kill his enemies. I will kill my enemies. I will destroy them. So he does that.
You also think about it. You see the Orb people. He's watching Orb do these things that he doesn't believe Orb should do. He has they're back to this corner and he's watching all this. So his anger has built.
Episode 28, which is why we're stopping where we stopped for this one. That comes full circle in episode 28. So the Minerva escapes, and now they need to head towards Gibraltar, which is Zaph's base on Earth. And they go through a bunch of misadventures, this and that. At one point, Athrun returns in the Savior, his new Gundam that he's given, a transformable Gundam. But during all of this, Durandal puts his plan into action. He needs to keep the masses on his side and keep them basically happy with the songs of Lacus Clyne. Problem is, real Lacus is out of play. So here comes Mir, the fake Lacus.
Big jiggles.
And great jiggles. But here's the problem, though. Now here comes, I believe it's episode 16. I think it's episode 16. Fly Freedom. What happens now is Durandal, and you pretty much know it there, he sends a hit team to kill Lacus. And they waken the sleeping giant.
That was the big fuck up.
That was the fuck up.
Durandal probably would have succeeded in everything if he didn't do that.
That's the mistake.
But it's also he needed to do that. That's why he did it.
Yeah, it's he's damned if he didn't, damned if he didn't, because the real Lacus would not have listened. She wouldn't have played ball with him. That's why he created Mir. So he needed to quote Athrun later on in the show. He needed a Lacus that would do what he said, because the real Lacus wouldn't. So he had to remove the White Queen, as he calls her, on his chessboard. She's the White Queen. He needs to get her off the board. Problem is, she's protected by some pretty good security. Andrew Waltfeld, Maru Ramius, and
Andrew Waltfeld,
Kira,
who has an arm gun.
He has an arm cannon. He has a cybernetic arm that reveals itself. It's a prosthetic. When he pulls it off, it's a freaking rifle. That's great.
It's awesome. But you have Mira, you have Mira, you have Maru, you have Maru, you have Andrew,
Waldo,
and you have
Kira Yamato, the greatest pilot in this series, who has been content to just do nothing. He just wants to be left alone, live peacefully. Problem is, you just tried to kill his girl, and he knows it because he spots one of the guys in the air conditioning system in the environment system taking aim at Lacus. Not anybody else taking direct aim at her. and that's it. So they go down, they escape into the depths of the house they were staying in, and Lacus kept the keys to the hangar in her Haru.
Yeah, but what I also love is how every time they did cut over to Lacus and Kira together, you could tell that Kira wanted to go out and fight, but he was also very happy to just
She didn't
stay
want
back.
it though. She didn't want it.
Yeah, she didn't want him to go out and fight. She doesn't like that he's going
It's a
out to do
great
this.
shot. As he says, it's okay. I'm okay doing this. And she's like, she's so hesitant. She says, all right, Haru. She gives him the keys. And as him and Waltfeld open up the hangar door, and you see there it is, the rebuilt freedom. The freedom. And
your body just starts.
I got chills right now. I've got chills right
yeah.
now. Think about this scene.
You watch it come out and it's like, oh.
Dun, 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 dun. And now, but great shot though, as the doors close, the backdraft of air just Lacus center on the screen. It just blows her dress as all she can do is stand there in this moment and watch as the man she loves has to go back and do what he doesn't want to do. Really in his heart, doesn't want to kill. But here's the thing. These guys in these Zaft mechs, these water-based ones, they're just shooting shit, and then suddenly explosion, and they look up, and then it's like the freedom theme is playing. They're like, "What is that?" They go, "That's the freedom." What the hell?
They started shitting themselves because
they shat themselves.
They didn't have all the information. Durandal didn't have all the information. Nobody had all the information.
Nobody knew that freedom
was there.
The last we saw the freedom, it was a wreck from the battle from the end of the battle of the last season. So here it is rebuilt, full strength, and Kira. And what I love about this moment is he just goes seed mode. It's like boom, seed mode. I'm a seed mode. And here's the thing, though. You watch every shot is not a kill shot. It's a cripple shot. Because he wants to he's not going to kill, but two, he's going to question these guys. Why are you coming after my girl? But he just owns them. And I love that one moment where he gets underneath that one mobile suit and he just like powers it up, lifting on his shield. It's like, I own you. But then they all kill themselves. They all blow themselves up.
Because they're not going to allow him to talk to them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So
he's not allowed to know.
And there it is right there. You just awakened the sleeping giant. And now our true protagonist is back. He's not going to be front and center, but he's going to do great things because now we have a problem. Athrun is out of town. He's back on Aprilius getting promoted.
I think Athrun, at this point.
No, he's still on Aprilius. He's in transit because Kigali's going to get forced to marry Unaroma Seiran. And what happens is Kira, the Archangels show up and crash the wedding. The Archangel
again. It's all about the ideals. They are Orb at this point in time. The Archangel is Orb.
They're wearing uniforms and everything. They're wearing Orb uniforms and everything. Yeah.
And full-fledged, Kira just shows up, comes to this wedding where Kigali is being forced to marry somebody she obviously doesn't love, and goes like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna take her. Bye."
He goes, and I love Kira's casualness. Wow, you look great in that dress. She's like, shut it. It's like, here, hold on, get in here, move aside. I got to get us out of here. I love Kira's casualness. Like, yeah, none of y'all are gonna touch me, and I'm gonna spin slash my way out of this. We're gonna leave, and you got Yuna going, Kigali, my honey, where are you going? It's like,
fuck you. We don't love you.
It's great.
You're just lucky Kira doesn't like killing people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, you were doing mean things to his sister. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You are really lucky he does not kill. That is what this all comes down to. If he killed people, you would all be butchered.
Exactly. Kira he doesn't hurt anybody. He just swoops in, grabs her, and leaves with the Archangel because they can't stop him. So it's great. It's fantastic.
So much. Yeah. It's such a Kira thing too.
Yeah.
Because we've always, like you said, he's untouchable. So you just see it come in. Everybody's kind of freaking out. You just bye.
Yep. Bye. See ya. We're going. And now here's the problem though. And now this creates a great problem. People keep saying, Kigali, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to stop the war. I'm trying to stop everybody from fighting. I'm trying to stop Orb from getting involved. And then later on, Shin throws it at her. Or no, Athrun throws it at her in that fantastic scene we're going to get to soon, where he says, if you were an orb, you could have stopped all this. But she couldn't have because she was being manipulated. So now here, let's set up the board now as it is. You've got the Minerva hunting. Well, the Minerva now got back to Gibraltar, and they're locked in there. And we'll get to that in a second. You've got the Archangel, who now has the new ability to be a submersible. It is now also a submarine. It's been upgraded, which they learned their lessons from the last series. Sometimes we need to retreat underwater to get away from shit because none of them going to catch us underwater. So they can now submersible. It retreats constantly. They're taking refuge in the Kingdom of Scandinavia. And then you've got the Earth Alliance forces being pushed by Blue Cosmos to get everybody on their side to basically fight the war. Now, once we're in Gibraltar, Athrun is returned, this and that, and he gets hooked up. We talked about it. He gets hooked up with Mir, who he knows isn't Lacus. And she tries to sleep with him in her glorious see-through nightgown. And Luna Maria gets the wrong idea because now at this point, the girls are all hot for Athrun on the Minerva.
And not Shin.
Yeah, they're all hot for Athrun. Especially Mirren, who has a crush on him. And what I love about that is through most of the series, Mirren Hawk is just kind of on the side, but she's like one of the truest, bluest characters in all of this because she's attentive to everybody, including her sister. She's kind, she's sweet, she's good at her job, but she also pays attention to the little things. She has been aware the whole time of what's going on with Athrun. He's been struggling, this and that, and she has feelings for him, which I wish they had gone with, but I understand they went him and Kigali in the end. I like the idea of Mirren and Athrun. I liked it.
I like the idea too, but I prefer Kigali. I think
yeah.
Kigali's it's the perfect combination there.
In the end, we know that they are because Freedom shows us that they are. But I liked Mirren. For 20 years, I thought that's where it went. For 20 years, I thought that's where we went. But no, Freedom eventually proved me otherwise. Anyway, so Mirren is great. And you get the relationships now where Durandal is coming back more and more. Ray is manipulating Shin more and more. We talked about it. There was this whole thing where they go through the desert. It's really annoying and dumb. It's more Zaft and plant propaganda for people of naturals on Earth it's just an example of everybody falling into place for Durandal's plan is what it is.
So some of the things that we do end up seeing is like the Earth forces aren't really being nice to her.
They're horrible. They're horrible. They're torturing.
They're
concentration camp people. They're work camp people. They're terrible. The Earth forces are being terrible in this, which is why Zaft being pain is better.
So that's why that's some of what the misadventures of the Minerva are, is just going around freeing people and showing that Zaft are good and they're liberators. I think this is also around the time when they stumble upon the
no, that's right before where we stop. It's like a couple episodes before where we stop. We're almost there. Because what happens now is Athrun comes back, they're in Gibraltar, or Athrun first goes to Orb, and he hooks up with Miriella. How? Now Miriella, we learned that Miriella is especially a photojournalist, and she's working things, and she has a way to get in touch with the Archangel. And Athrun is now, he learns about Kira taking Kigali, Kira getting involved in battles here and there, and he says it's after a particular fight where everyone was fighting, and the Archangel and the Freedom showed up, and Kira annihilated all sides. He's like, listen, like I said, y'all can't touch me. I'm going to kick all your asses. And Kira literally does. He goes seed mode. He shows up Shin. He shows up Ray. He shows up the Earth Forces mobile suits. Shows up Neo Mu. Shows everybody up without killing a single person. Yeah. He shows up Athrun, and he kicks the Savior's ass in the Freedom. Because Savior is an inferior machine to the Freedom. It is. So point is, he kills it. So now Athrun says, I need to talk to Kira. I need to find out what's going on. I need to tell him to stop this because he couldn't contact him on the frequencies. So he goes to Miriella, and she puts him in touch. We have this fantastic scene. At the same time, Gladys has told Luna to follow Athrun and spy on him. So Luna is sitting there recording and taking pictures when Athrun, Kira, Kigali and Mirielia have their powwow.
Isn't Lacus there too?
No, Lacus didn't. No, Lacus. You're right. Lacus there too. Lacus there too. Yeah.
Because that was one of the key things. Is that's how?
As Kira says, can you explain to me this fake Lacus?
Yes, there's that the fake Lacus, which the hot girl heard and doesn't fully understand. Why is
Luna doesn't get it? Yeah, Luna doesn't get it.
Doesn't get that there's two, but at the same time, I think that's one of the main reasons. The chairman ends up learning that Lacus is still alive, or Lacus.
That's it, because he learns that he learns to connect it to, and that is we get in Durandal's asides. He says, because there's one particular episode, it's one of the recap episodes, which actually has important Durandal moments in it, even though it's a recap episode, where he's lamenting the fact that Kira and Lacus ever came together, that they coming together changed the fate of everything, and freedom. Damn it. You tease us and you don't give us anything. So, because I'll say this, we'll talk about it and get the freedom. Kira changed Lacus's future because Kira's future was changed from his original intentions. So he was never supposed to meet her, and she was never supposed to meet him, and they changed everything and therefore they are the ultimate antithesis to what Durandal had planned, even beyond what we're going to talk about next month. So Kira and Lacus and Kigali confront Athrun and Mirielia too. And Athrun is lecturing them. Why are you doing this? You're causing chaos on the battlefield, blah, 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 blah. And then Kira just shuts him down and says, why did they try to kill Lacus? Durandal tried to kill her. And what's with the fake Lacus? And that puts Athrun Soplo short because he has no answer for Mir. He has no answer. Mm-hmm. And then Kira says, go ahead.
One of my favorite parts of this is it, like you said earlier, like with the regression of Athrun and everything like that, because I do believe the Soldier of Zaft, that line comes up again.
It's a memory. It's a memory. It's a replay memory later on,
But like they try to show that he's becoming again the Soldier of Zaft. Yeah. He's not, he's no longer.
He's not thinking for himself again anymore.
Yes. Yeah. And that's something that's also very cool is how Kira, he's thought for himself. He knows what he wants to do. He has his goal.
And he's questioning.
He's questioning. Yeah. He's questioning his best friend who he cares about on what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Where are you in all this? Because
you bailed on Kigali. You
bailed on Kigali. You weren't there to protect her. You left when she needed you the most while you're chastising her for not being on Orb and not being capable of doing anything. She was all alone. Mm-hmm. We had to come in here and basically save the fucking day because you failed. Yeah. You don't know what you're dealing with.
We're going to be the ones who are searching for the truth here. We're going to be the symbol of sanity in all this. That's what the Archangel represents. Mm-hmm. And Kira says, until we get the truth, we're not going to stop. And the funny thing is, at this point, Kira is in charge. I mean, Maru is commander of the Archangel, but Kira's running the show. Everybody looks to him for a decision, which is a major shift. Kira didn't want that in the past. He couldn't do it in the past. Now he can. He can make the call to do stuff. So he says, until we get those answers, we're going to do this. And Athrun says, you better not show up on the battlefield again. I will fight you. And Kira says, fine. Then I'll see you on the battlefield. And they do meet up again because now Mirielia joins the crew, which I love. Mirielia gets back on board. And it's still a skeleton crew.
You get that great line, too. Yeah. What happened between you and Dirka? I dumped his ass.
Yeah. I mean, they had a little fun, but here, think about what I love. That is when we saw him up in space on Izak's Jewel team. Diarca has matured. He's not the brash, narcissist asshole that he was before. He's the calming influence on Izak.
Even Izak is a whole lot different.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't get into it, but Izak, Athrun, and Diarca, they all have like a get together.
Well, when Athrun goes to Aprilius, they all meet at Nichols' grave, and they have a moment.
They all three, they obviously have all changed, and you can even tell that not Diarca. I just said his name. Izak. Even Izak has changed because he's taken the position of his mother, and he's leading that position a whole lot differently than how his mother did.
Yeah, he's a commander. He is in charge of the whole team, just like he commands a ship. He commands forces. So yeah, these characters have evolved beautifully, as we mentioned earlier. Problem is, as we said, Athrun regressed. and he's just the soldier of Zaf following Durandal's orders without questioning them. And in that moment, Kira plants the seed of doubt in Athrun, and it's going to keep growing because events are going to keep happening. And we're going to, after more misadventures, more character interaction, stuff like that. I mean, we're kind of glossing over Shin as he gets more and more duped by Durandal's flowery language, and he just starts to hate more and more, and he starts to hate the freedom. Because he remembers the freedom from the Battle of War. He blames the freedom partially for what went down there. He blames Athrun for being a lazy soldier. He thinks that Athrun isn't as good as he is. Because Athrun, after he gets his ass kicked by the freedom, he says, Shin loses all respect for him. You kind of sucked up there, too. I don't have to listen to you. I don't care if you're fake.
And you also have to remember, at the same time, he's getting praised by everybody because he's succeeding.
Yeah.
He's doing the hard work. And what I also like is, I'm going to say this. I think the chairman was ending up seeing that Athrun was failing as being a faith and was getting some of his wavering because there was that other faith soldier that ended up.
Oh, that's where we're going to go next. Jaime. So they're in Gibraltar as Jaime shows off the latest goof, his personal goof. And we also learned that Jaime had, and from other flashes, that Jaime was in the previous season. He was in other battles up there. But Jaime Wassenfloof, whatever his name is, he is another member of Faith, and he's in it for an episode. You think he's going to be joining the 1.5? 1.5.
Yeah, let's go there. Yeah,
1.5. And basically now, all things are coming to a head. All the battles happening, and everybody's getting more and more insane. And it's during this period of time. First, we have the battle. We have another battle where Jaime is giving a bunch of flowery language, the same as Durandal, pumping everybody up. You do your job. This and that. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm in my goof, this and that. And in the next day, the next battle, where again, here comes Phantom Pain, here comes the Minerva. They're fighting it out. The Archangel shows up. Kira starts doing as he pleases, and he's. Sorry, I just heard something fall. Hold on. Go ahead. One second. Carry
during this battle, I don't remember who fought who and how this all went down. I do know this, but I know that our new orange goof that just showed up, this new member of Faith who is, being talked about, he gets a lot of lines. He dies. He gets blasted straight through. He's dead.
Oh, yeah. I can explain what happened. I know what I will say who's fighting who. What happens is Kira is owning everybody. He kicks Athrun's ass. He kicks that side. Problem is, he kicks Stella's ass in the Gaia, and Stella gets really pissed off at that. And she uses a bunch of platform maneuvers to go after, I think it's Kira, except Jaime gets in the way in his goof to try and take a shot at Kira. And Stella, just with her wing blade and the transformed Gaia, slices right through him. You see her little get out of my way.
You see the death. It's like,
oh yeah, he just gets boom annihilated, and everybody blames Kira, but nobody blames Stella. Well, funny thing is, nobody, even when Shin learns that Stella's the pilot of the Gaia, he doesn't blame her. He keeps blaming Kira, which is his weird obsession, his one-track mind of who's an enemy and who isn't by his standards. So it's a chaos thing, and Jaime gets aced after all his stuff about doing that. He gets aced in a second. Done.
Yeah, they build up this character really quick, and you're like, oh, I wonder how he's going to interact. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's gone. And it's after that then that we get the reveal.
I hated his goof anyways. It was ugly.
It was an ugly yellow goof. That yellow color wasn't good.
It was orange, wasn't it?
Orange, yellow, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It matched his hair. Anyway, the regular blue goof later on, the standard goof looks much better. I agree. So what happens now is during all this, after in the fallout after this, so at this point, also during that, they discover the extended facility we brought up earlier. Now, during all this stuff, they discover the extended facility. Rey and Shin are sent to investigate, and we haven't talked about Rey much because I'm saving that for next month because we can't really talk about Rey without the reveal.
Like you don't know a whole lot about Rey. All you know about Rey, if we want to establish this,
he takes pills.
They show him taking pills from time to time, but he's as skilled as Shin.
Yeah.
he's like Shin's best friend, but he's very close to
He
the
knows
director.
Durandal.
Yeah, he's very close to Durandal and all the people at top.
If you look at the pills and you know what they are, you can put the pieces together. But we're not going to talk. I'll talk more about Ray next month when we can talk about the reveal of what he is, because we can't really talk about Ray without that. And I want to save that for discussion next month when it matters, when we could tell the full discussion of Ray and what he means to the story. But Ray is the diehard. He's constantly in Shin's ear. He's constantly giving him advice, constantly telling him
He's a true
what to
believer
do.
of Zaf's
True believer
ideals.
of Durandal's ideas.
I was trying to be very coy there, and
it's Gilbert. Well, we already know. Well, no. Yeah. Remember, at one point he says Gil, and he runs to hug him very gaily. When they think,
yes, he's a true believer of what Durandal has to say. Is important.
Yeah, total true believer. So Ray and Shin are sent to investigate some information they got, and they discover the extended facility where Stella, Aiel, and Sting had been trained among hundreds of other kids, and they find the remains of the experimentation. Brains and jars, dead bodies of when the kids revolted at one point and tried to escape. And Stella, Sting, and Aiel were the only survivors of that camp, outside the ones from the previous series and Seed. It's disgusting.
People throwing up. They treat it with like seriousness. It is a
hard
abomination.
It's a horror show. This is what's going on. Like I said, during I believe it's the this is what's going on during the conversation where Athrun, Kira, Lacus, and Galia are doing it. This is going on. They're going on parallel right now because Athrun is now challenging Kira, because if you hadn't been there, Jaime wouldn't have gotten killed. So that's when all this is happening now. We did it out of order. We apologize. We get caught up when we're doing it. So now when Phantom Pain hears about this, and unfortunately it triggers Stella to get into Gaia unauthorized and go there to try and protect whatever's there. It triggers her.
I think she also said mother.
No. It was protect Aiel, because Aiel gets triggered. And then she goes to protect him for some reason. In her warped mind, by going there, she's protecting him. So she goes there. She has a fight with Shin. And Shin wins. But then when he destroys the Gaia for good, the Gaia gets aced for good. This version of the Gaia, done for good. He discovers it's Stella and that she's been the pilot all along. And he takes her prisoner. And they bring her back to Minerva. And now we learn just how regulated she is. Without the chemicals that the Earth Alliance provides, her body can't function. It literally shuts down. Yeah. And we get the lines. While Zaft and the plants are great geneticists, when it comes to chemical science, they're shit, because they can't figure out what the Earth forces have done to her chemistry and her body. So she's dying. And this isn't going to happen on this one. This happens later. So Stella's a prisoner right now. Okay. Wait, does she escape before or after?
No, it's before.
Yeah, it's before. Yes, yeah. So what happens is, here's where again you start to get pissed at Shin,
because you really only get like an episode of her being there, and Shin, like he had to give her back because he could not.
Well, he couldn't handle it. Shin disobeyed everybody's orders, and he takes her out, and he contacts Neo, and delivers her, and he says, "If I give her back, will you promise she won't get put into battle again? You sweet summer child moron." And Neo, who is not Mu. This is Neo, not Mu LaFlaga. This is where the Neo personality is a son of a bitch. And he knows he's a son of a bitch. Yeah, I'll make sure she goes someplace safe. Right back into the memory wipe machine. Problem is, Aiel and Sting had their memories of her wiped away. So they don't know who she is. And they're like, why is this girl being brought in here to do stuff? What's going on here? So that's just more of the stuff we were talking about before, the horrible nature of how these kids are treated. Anyway, so now Shin gets put in lockdown because of this, because he disobeyed orders. Problem is, now another battle is going to happen. So let's just jump to this next battle at this point, where we're going to end this, where everything comes to a head. And
This is a long battle too. This was multi-episodes.
2-3 episodes. 2-3 episodes.
Yeah, this was not, but it's very important.
Even where we're ending, it still has a little carryover because without the things are going to move around here. So what happens here is this major battle between, once again, now the Earth Alliance wants Orb. I'm sorry, Zaft wants Orb. Zaft
wants Orb. So the Earth Alliance and Orb have teamed up to take down the Minerva.
Yeah, and we get another semi three-way battle, Earth Alliance, two-way battle, Earth Alliance and Orb, because in order to make Orb commit, they forced them to send out a fleet to take out the Minerva. It's like, you need to show us you're in, Orb, with what's going on Earth Alliance. So you need to send out some troops. And what happens is now Kigali can't stand it. It's like, oh my God, Orb can't fight. This is going to be terrible. It's been one thing we trying to stop all this fighting with everybody else, but now Orb's going to fight. No, we have to stop this. So the Archangel and Kigali goes out for like the third time in the Strike Rouge, and she's trying to tell the Orb soldiers, stand down. This Kigali Eula Atha, you will stand down. I am still chief representative of Orb, and the soldiers are listening until
the soldiers are listening. The soldiers are listening also because the Rogue has the symbol, like Kigali.
The Rouge has the line of has the line of the line of Orb.
Yeah, so they're actually like listening because it's like this is Kigali. This is her Gundam. It has the marker on it. It has everything to tell us that this is Kigali.
Yeah, but Yuna says no, it's not her. It's a fake. I would know my fiance's voice, and he uses his power as Supreme Commander of Orb Forces to force it. And even though he's on the same ship, the Mizukagi Wagi, whatever it's called, with the captain who rescued Kira and his crew, they have to fight, and then the battle begins, and Kigali's breaking down, and Kira can't take it. He's like, all right, Kigali, I'm going to handle this. You go back off. You don't do this. So Kira does what he can, but it's a massacre because Neo gets in his Wyndham. He gets shot down, and the Archangel's going to find him, and then his mask is off. Maru's going to see on a scan that it's Mu, who's been masquerading who's been Neo, whatever. She's like, oh my God, Mu. Meanwhile, all kinds of shit's going down. I believe this is the battle where Kira just annihilates Atherin in the Savior. Just literally chops him to pieces.
Yes.
Chops him to pieces. He's like, get out of my way.
And this is the battle that really, like, I do believe Shin does come out in the Impulse.
Shin kills the Abyss. He's in the Impulse. He kills the Abyss. He kills Aiel underwater. He goes seed mode, and he kills Aiel, who says "Mother" as he dies. Sting gets shot down by the Murasames. He gets shot down, and but the Chaos is recovered to be brought back for uselessness later on. Because at this point, the Chaos becomes an obsolete Gundam in the sea.
Essentially, at this point, that dude's obsolete.
Yeah.
He himself is obsolete.
Yeah, he'll get rolled out a couple more times, but he's obsolete. Stella's still in recovery. She's not part of the battle. But what happens, though, is while Kira's doing other shit, Shin goes full berserker. And he gets his dearest wish. He gets to destroy Orb ships. And he is just annihilating everything. At this point, I think Kira has retreated to this point, or he's on the other side of the field, and he's not involved in that.
He's on the other side of the field because this is when the ships are being destroyed and the Orb soldiers.
Shin's he's got the sword silhouette. He's slashing things, and he's full berserk rage mode. And this is kind of a carryover between the episodes, kind of the 28, 29 overlap. The Mizukagi Wagi, whatever the ship's name is, the captain who saved Shin, who took care of Shin in the aftermath of his losses, of his tragedy, he tells his crew, go. Get in the lifeboats, get out there, find your way to the Archangel. That ship is going to see us through this. Join them. And his commander, who's got the big nose, that he's a legitimate executive officer. He says he gets all those guys. He says, the captain says, get your crew, get as many people who believe in what the ideals of Orb, go to the Archangel. And they do. They go there. The Archangel gets a full loadout of Murasames plus the Freedom, and a full battle crew, a battle bridge crew who know what they're doing. Now, this is the first time the Archangel has a legitimate full crew who know what they're doing, and you see it as the season goes on. But at the same time, then the captain is going down with the ship, and then there's Shin, rage monster, looming in the strike as he cuts through the bridge of the ship, cuts through unknowingly a man who was there from him in his darkest moment. And you see the flashback of him helping him. Then that just cuts deep, dude. That cuts deep. That cuts deep. And that's it. That's where we're going to stop.
I wish we could go on because that battle is so good. But what happens next?
What happens next? Everything changes again. Everything changes.
Everything drastically changes.
Yeah.
It's so good. But like Destiny, we could fly through Seed through the halfway point, and it really picks up at the second part. This is just you're so
everything changes.
That's been going
Mobile
on.
suits, characters, events. I mean,
But
the
other thing, like what happened during this fight, started something that doesn't really become like fully said until after next fight. But one of the things is like how Shin hates the freedom.
Oh yeah, that's the next arc, the Destroy arc. That's where we're going next. That's some serious shit right there. Because the Archangel takes its freedom fighting tasks, its hero task very seriously. It's the first one on the scene in the next part. And that's where shit goes bad. And we get to some serious stuff. I love it. I love the back. From episodes 29 to 50 are great.
I cannot say the guy who Kigali is supposed to marry, didn't he go down on the ship?
No, he escaped. He ran like a bitch.
I can never remember if he. That was one of those moments where the commanding officer who goes down with the ship, he does not like him.
No, he hates him.
He ran away.
He knew that was Kigali. And Yuna said it's not. So,
but also Yuna running away and not being willing to go down with the ship. I believe they also had like a back and forth. Like the leader goes down with the ship.
They did. It's really.
We are going to stay here and watch this. We're
going to watch what you started. We're going to end this. You can run away with a little bitch and get yours. He'll get his in the next battle at Orb, which is great.
Rightfully so, and I don't cry.
Oh, no. We cheer. It's like, yes. But we'll be back with more of this. We'll do the conclusion to Destiny next month, episodes 29 to 50, give or take one or two recaps, where it really gets good. This is where all the good stuff happens. All the character work, all these relationships, it really comes through. And some of the best action sequences and some of the best looking Gundams.
Some of the best storylines as well. Like how things start playing out. Like everything's just been moving, and you start realizing what you've been watching the whole time in the second half. And it's like,
the pieces are all there. Once you've seen the whole series and you watch it again, you see every piece as it was laid out in Durandal's chess game. You see every move he had laid out. And of course, like I said, we're getting to the best stuff. We're getting the strike. Freedom.
We're getting commies. And what happens to commies?
Yes, we're getting communism. We're getting full blown. We're gonna literally tell you what to do with your Destiny communism.
Your genes depend on what you do in life.
Yes. All right, but that's next month. So we'll be back for that next month. But now let's go to our guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
We do this now because we every episode, every month we say we're not going to talk One Piece, but we fucking talk One Piece. So we're giving in. We're giving in. So for those of you who are not caught up in One Piece, this is your one and only warning. We are going to talk heavy spoilers for the current arc of One Piece, which is only in the manga, not in the anime. So there's your single warning. Okay, so I caught up today because I was only 4 chapters behind. So because I go by the month right now. So I'm only 4 chapters behind. So it took me about 15, 20 minutes to catch up. We're at a point now. We're on Elbath. Some serious fucking fighting is about to happen because the big guns, the Luffy, Zoro, who we just learned Zoro has freaking Conqueror's Haki.
Yes. But we have it hinted that you can learn Conqueror's Haki as well.
Yeah, because Sanji's going like, what? I want to learn it. I want to learn it. What is Brillo Head here? I get to learn it and not me.
But because where we're at over on One Piece right now is we've been on Elbath. If you haven't been reading the manga or you're still around, we're on Elbath. A lot of shit's going down. We have Emu, who's the king of the entire world, is on the fucking Elbath doing
possessing shit. Brooke's daughter. That is Brooke's daughter. I think it's Brooke's daughter.
I lean towards it's more than likely
it's Brooke's daughter. There were a few chapters ago. There was a frame. That's Brooke's daughter. It's Brooke's daughter.
Towards it being Brooke's daughter. We don't know some of the full things yet, so there's a lot of shit going on. There's a possibility that there's a fish man who's actually a part of the.
Who's part of the Saints, the Saint squad.
Because in order to be a part of those the knights, you have to be a part of like the world government people.
Like
the higher ups. I can't remember.
He's got a crazy ass fruit there that he's half horse.
It's a Kirin fruit, so it's an actual dragon. Dragon fruit, and it's a super powerful one.
Well, all the Saints at this point, all these nasty motherfuckers, including Shanks' twin brother, they are all what?
Clover.
Yeah. I forgot his name. I'll be honest. I forgot his name. They have got some seriously nasty powers.
Yes.
They've got some seriously nasty powers. I mean, and they're also horrible people. At this point, they have kidnapped the children of Elbaf to try and bully the adults into joining the world government to be soldiers and fight. And
because the giants at one point, giants will always decide the battle. It doesn't matter. Giants are these massive weapons that are super strong, super powerful. At one point in time, they were conquerors, and now they're not. They abandoned their old ways.
King Harold wanted peace. King Harold
ended up wanting peace, especially because of the other giant that he fell in love with but wasn't allowed to marry.
Yeah, because she was low-born, and it's Hadrujan's mother. And then he got forced into an arranged marriage with some bitch from Alcohol City.
Yeah,
Alcohol City,
who hates their own son, Loki.
I mean, Loki, that's a fucking tragedy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Loki is a tragedy. Just thrown into the underworld. The underworld just
his
the story
father
remains.
wasn't there to take care of him for the longest period of time.
And Harold willingly loves him. Shows no care for anything. But oh man, and
Harold loves Loki, but he was never around to show it to Loki, so Loki never felt.
Well, Loki didn't believe it. And here's what. Now we're gonna do some theory crafting here. When we get the reveal of Rox
D. Zabek, who has for the longest time been a shadowy figure, and through flashbacks, we ended up seeing the man himself, the beast,
finally see it.
Strongest person that took
Goldie
Roger
and it took
Garp to take
both
him
of them
down.
And here's where my theory craft is. Here's my theory craft that I've been thinking about all day since I read last week's chapter. With Rox, here's the thing about Rox, and he's a D. He's got the will of D. There it is,
Rox
the will of D.
Zabek, future captain of the Rox Pirates, father of Emperor Blackbeard.
Yeah, that means there's history we don't know about until now between the monkeys and, I mean, Blackbeard's is Marshall D. Teach, but it's really Marshall D. Zabek.
Well, no, it'd be Rox D. Zabek.
I'm sorry, Rox D.
Because they do it the correct way. They do it all the correct way. So it's
you're right.
D.
Rox
D. Teach. Yeah,
Rox D. Teach. Right. Rox D. Sorry, you're right. I'm sorry. I got caught up in it. You're correct. Jeremy's right. So it's he should be Rox D. Teach instead of Marshall D. Teach. So now you realize there is history between the monkeys and the Rox. And holy shit, dude. That makes it even more compelling of Luffy versus Blackbeard.
Luffy versus Blackbeard is going to potentially be the final fight. I always thought it was going to be Luffy versus Emu. It's going to be Luffy versus
I always thought it wouldn't be. I mean, I've said this before. This is my other theory craft. I've been running this for years, and I'm not going to stop until I've been proven otherwise, which means the end of the series. I always thought that the final battle would not be a battle of enemies, but a battle of who's going to claim this, Luffy or Shanks. I've always felt that Luffy's final mountain, his final summit, is surpassing Shanks. And I don't think that happens until the very end. That's been my theory for a long time.
I think what's going to end up happening, this is my personal theory, Shanks is going to get killed by Rox. Not Rox. Well, Rox, but by Blackbeard.
Peach.
But
he already ran from him once. So yeah.
Yes, and we already know that that Shanks has been hurt by Blackbeard. Shanks got
That's
those
the scar.
scars. Yeah,
The
the
scars are
scar
from
came from
yeah.
Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, we have a twin for Shanks that is not really Shanks, but is equally in standing and more than likely, because he has two arms, a little bit stronger than Shanks.
Mm-hmm.
So that means Luffy can battle Clover to symbolize surpassing Shanks.
Perhaps.
Because that's something that Oda loves is symbolism. Because
Mhm.
at the same time, one of the beautiful parts about them finally introducing Zebek and giving us who's Zebek and that he's the father of fucking Teach.
Mm-hmm.
He's his goddamn father. Makes you really start wondering what has Teach been planning.
Here's my thing. Now, here's where Zebek rocks pirates. We haven't gotten much. The last time we saw it was the flashback for Kuma.
Mm-hmm. Kuma's flashback, and we never really saw who he was.
That was the battle where Garp and
God Valley.
That wasn't.
No, that was God Valley.
Okay, it was God Valley. Yeah, that's the battle where they took him out, and at that point, that's the peak of Rock Pirates. This one, he's still, and I kind of got a chuckle where they kind of reinforced the Davy back, Davy back fights. That's how Rock's got his entire crew, the Davy back fights. But he had Shiki, the Golden Lion, who we know was canon, because that's the point that when you get to that point, that's when the movies are becoming canon. At that point, they're no longer.
So the movie isn't canon, but it's a little bit more complicated. The reason why Shiki is canon though is because Shiki was always like announced to be a part of it. He was mentioned within canon, actual canon, and simultaneously there's One Piece Chapter 0, which is not all put together, canonically weird. It's disturbing, but it is canon, and that is Roger going up against Shiki. So everything with Shiki is canon, but it isn't. It's complicated.
It's close enough, but it's at least in that era now that we live in, where movies are canon. They don't. It's not the old Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece era where these movies floated above the canon and didn't really fit in properly. You had to work a little bit because events and people that shouldn't be there are happening. But it sort of fits in. So Shiki's there. Whitebeard is there.
Whitebeard there, and you have Stussy as well.
Stussy, yep. Stussy's there too. Yep. And now, this is clearly before, because he had been mentioned. We know she's active at this point.
I think Big Mom is a part. I think Big Mom is a part of the Brock's Pirates.
Then why wasn't she there?
I think the guy who I listen to that do these breakdowns, I think she was technically a part of it, but she was in the process of having one of her babies. One of her many babies.
Okay, yeah. And remember, you got to remember, this is the era where Charlotte Linlin was still smoking hot and not the giant blob that we come to know and hate.
I could be wrong that she was a part of it. I just know that she is having a child at this period of time.
She might have not been part of the Rock's creation. Of course she had to be, because all those, this is only at this point when we're seeing this flashback, it's only about 40 years prior to the present.
Yeah, I know for sure the only one that is, like, I know for sure is not a part of the crew yet is Kaido.
Kaido's not a part of the crew yet, but he is at God Valley, because we saw it in that flashback. So this is strong Rock's crew, but this isn't peak Rock's crew yet, because they even allude to the fact that when Rock shows up to talk with Harold, he hasn't achieved his major goal yet. He hasn't created Pirate Island yet.
We know that more than likely Rox is a king, though. Because he went to a reverie.
Yeah.
He went to a fucking reverie.
Where he murdered an admiral and killed a bunch of other kings and then blamed it on Harold.
Yes. He went to a fucking, like, all right, I have to drill that point home. Reveries are only meant for royalty.
Yeah.
You went there willingly. I can't imagine somebody being like, I'm going to bring my friend Rox with me. No.
So, and here's where my theory comes in. So during that, we learned in the past couple chapters that during that, he ended up in Imu's garden. That means he's seen Imu's face, the true ruler of this world.
And Imu was a little bit terrified.
And that's because Imu can sense the will of D. And we still don't know what the Will of D is. We are this far along, and we still don't know what the Will of D is. So there's plenty of theories out there as the opposite to whatever Emu represents it, with the mural, what it represents, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it is connected to Nika, the sun god. We don't really know yet.
All I know, I have a theory. It either means dreams or destruction. That's the main thing I have.
It could mean both.
There's other theories that it's D is a version of like the X that Lily had, and all the pirate and like the, because again, Oda loves his symbolism. Oda loves recalling old past events and doing like different changes and different flavors of it all. It could be like the X when it was the Straw Hats when they had not Lily, but what's her name? Yeah, Vivi, when they did the whole that.
Yeah,
it could be something similar to that. You have the Davy back, which the Davy back battles. You have so much that it could potentially be connected to.
Point is, here's what I think. Emu Sense Will of D, I think Rox or Zebek, whoever we're gonna Zebek, he in these couple of chapters, he's not the malevolent monster he's been painted as in previous chapters from other people's perspective. He wants to because it says there's a line. He says, up until this point, he had only attacked world government. He hadn't attacked pirates, but then he started attacking pirates to build up his crew to keep fighting the world government.
Because
I think here's what I think that Zebek Rox he found out the truth of the world, and in that made him say, because he says, I want to be king of the world. I think in his quest, he found out the truth that Roger also found out.
I wouldn't be surprised. I literally wouldn't be surprised, because one of the motivations of Rox is he's a destroyer. He wants to be king of the world, but he wants to destroy the world in the process. That's one of the
wants to destroy the world government. He wants to destroy the establishment.
Yeah, he wants to destroy the establishment, where Luffy also wants to destroy the establishment, but he's more of a liberator, where Rox is a destroyer. That is one of the other
drums of liberation.
Yeah, the drums of liberation. So there's again, this is how Oda likes to write.
Yeah,
the wills that pass on, the dreams that pass on, and teach whatever the fuck you want to call him. Blackbeard is he's not just the son, but he's also the inheritor of Rox's will. So a lot of the things that Blackbeard does is something similar to what Rox would have done.
And the thing is, Blackbeard had look at his devil fruits. And we say fruits because he has control of two. One swallows up everything. The other annihilates everything.
There is a theory that there's a good chance that Teach has been trying to gather up all the previous fruits that Zebek had, because we don't know if Rox has a devil fruit or not.
All right. Here's the thing. We did learn a chapter ago that on the day that Harold died, the devil fruit that the Elbaf had kept secret was taken.
Yes,
that might have been
their legendary
shadow fruit.
It could be. Well, the dark fruit, but it could be. That could be it, because we also know it could be that it was taken. It could be that Loki ate it, because Loki has a devil fruit.
Yeah, well, we don't know yet. We're getting right now.
We're getting all over the place. Well, this is our first time, but there's
not what I'm saying. No, I mean in the manga, Oda's done what he's done. We're stopping in the middle of a battle to give you backstory.
Yes,
we're in the manga. We're in the middle of Loki's backstory, which just happens to be giving us information on Rox D. Zebek.
We went from Loki's backstory. Well, no, we went from Harold's backstory to Loki's backstory to Rox's backstory. It's like
a drop of Rox's backstory, intermixed in there, because Loki we got from a previous chapter, a couple weeks ago. He idolized Rox.
Yes, he was one of the people that inherited the will of Rox.
Yeah. So we're gonna learn in the next couple of weeks, and that Loki didn't kill Harold. That because we saw right before it shifted to his backstory, there were a bunch of people attacking Harold in that room when him and the Elder entered.
A lot of Loki has said that he's the reason Harold died. He's the reason Harold died. He killed Harold. There's a lot of other things.
It's going to be a A twisted meaning. It's going to be a
Yes,
twisted meaning.
a twisted meaning. I don't think Loki. I think Loki is more akin to Luffy than Rocks. I think Loki is gonna join the Straw Hats.
What just happened? Luffy said, "Join my crew." We know what happens. Now, how is he gonna fit on the Sunny?
Well, they're at this beautiful island that has the Eden. They ended up
Atom tree. It has an
atom tree. They ended up also mentioning that what was the shipwrights? The legendary giant shipwrights that were named after Galley Law come from that island. So it's like I think I can figure out how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, but I mean the Sunny's already a great ship. She doesn't need any improvements.
I agree with this theory that the Straw Hats are gonna get a legendary weapon. Which legendary weapon we don't know yet.
Listen,
but there are 2 legendary weapons out there that they can pick up, and we know at least one legendary.
Well, you have to.
More than likely going to be picked up by Blackbeard.
Protected. Yes. Yeah, Shirahoshi has to be protected because the problem is Blackbeard knows about Shirahoshi now.
Yes,
he knows about Shirahoshi.
We also know that there's a good chance that what's her name, the one that transition, she might have touched Luffy.
Bonnie.
No, the one that can like change her form. What, the fox girl?
Rabbit. No, not Fox. No, sorry. That's Rabbit. Sorry. Damn it.
She's a part of Blackbeard's crew.
Oh, no, I don't remember this.
So there's one person on Blackbeard's crew, the one that hates beautiful women. I can't remember her name right now.
I don't remember.
But when she touches somebody, she can transform into that person. And they established during
wait, that means they took Bon Clay's fruit.
No, this is a different fruit. Oh, okay. This is a fox fruit.
Oh, okay.
It's a mythical Zoan type fruit.
Oh, okay.
So it's one of the, like, I can't remember the correct name for it because it's a mythical creature from Japan.
I have no memory.
So, it's a mythical. It's like the 9-tailed fox that can transform and all that stuff.
The Kyubi.
Yeah, the Kyubi. It's the Kyubi fruit, but the ugly woman on Blackbeard's crew, the really ugly.
That one. Ew.
Yeah, so she has the ability.
That's her power. I didn't know that was her devil fruit power.
She has a mythical Zoan type fruit, so that if she touches you at all, she can turn into you and be exactly like you. And they showed off that she did this with Saint Saturn, so they have the ability to take over the Sephirim, all those beings. They have the ability to control that. There's a theory that she touched Luffy, and that they're going to be going to Fishman Island to get Shirahoshi because of the prophecy that Luffy will destroy Fishman Island.
Huh. Interesting. I guess we'll see.
We'll see with that one. That's a theory that, because there's 2. I think Luffy's going to go to Fishman Island, to be honest. I think Luffy's going to get that one.
That's a massive backtrack with how far deep in the Grand Line they are. There's
a backtrack that's going to have to happen. But the other possibility, and it makes more logical sense, Teach is going to go to Wano, forcibly tear down those walls and get Uranus? No, not Uranus, but Pluton. The one that's there. Pluton. Get Pluton because Pluton is a destroyer.
Because, all right, so we know all the 3 weapons that are in play. There's 3 of them. There's only 3. There's Pluton, there's Poseidon, and then there's the one that the world government does have, which they use to Uranus, which they used to where they annihilated that kingdom a couple years ago, which caused the water levels to shift.
Yes.
Again, which shows you what harkens back to what we talked about when Vegapunk revealed to everybody and said, this world is drowning itself. That tells you that during the Void Century, the world government was probably using Uranus to blow up islands and change the water levels.
I think during the World Century, the Legendary Kingdom is the one that was doing that. Because Oda has also come out and said, by the end of it, you're going to question who was actually evil the entire time, because it's all about perspectives as well. So there's the world government is evil, but when we get the world government backstory and Imu's backstory,
that's the remainder of that. Because we know about what happened because of the mural. We know who the enemies were back then. Emu is a remnant of the Age of Civilization.
Well, no,
And
Emu is from another kingdom that teamed up against an ancient civilization.
is it? Did I miss that? Did I get that wrong? I
Yeah.
got that wrong.
Yes,
Okay.
you got that one.
Okay.
So Emu comes.
This is
he's
new
what-
stuff. I haven't fully assimilated all the new stuff
so
yet.
Emu is
Yeah.
from one of the 20 kingdoms. I think he was the leader of the 20 kingdoms that went against the ancient civilization.
Okay.
So that's what ended up building the world government once it took.
You're
down the
right.
ancient
Now I
civilization.
remember. See, all right. See, here's the difference. The other stuff up to Wano, I've assimilated all that stuff over and over again, so I know that stuff pretty well. It's Wano and it's Egghead and everything after Egghead, which I don't have perfect memory on right now. That's so I had only recently read that, so that hasn't completely been said. But you're right. I'm wrong.
But we don't know a whole lot yet. There's so much that could happen. And one theory, I told you about this theory beforehand. Now, this is a partially colorized version of Rox's wanted poster, but this is the canon wanted poster for Rox.
Oh, they did show it
side by side by another wanted poster. Again, Oda likes his symbolisms, likes his rhyming, likes doing really unique things with how he does shit, okay? There's a theory that there might be a second son of Rox that we don't know about yet. I'm going to show you the picture.
Okay.
If I can remember how to share my screen. It's not a great picture. This is a real picture. Oh, wait. Shit. My audio just went out.
All right. Well, I'm going to share this one.
Give me a moment.
They can still
I can't hear you, but I'm going to say this.
We can hear you. We hear you.
Buggy might be the son of Rox Dizabek. And I'm going to put this link to you real quick in the private chat, and then I'm going to reload in just so in case you want to keep this up so you can deal with that.
Okay. Oh, he went away. Yeah, we'll have to remind him that we can hear him when he does that. Wonder why his audio always goes out on StreamYards. I mean, we sometimes on my camera goes out, but so that is interesting. Oh, that was it's really small there. Let's zoom it in. All right, let me get that up here. Oh, he's back. You know, the good thing is we can hear you when that happens. We still hear you.
That is a good thing. Yeah, it's not a great picture. I had to grab it from Facebook, and Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is asshole. When it comes to images.
Facebook is asshole.
They're asshole when it comes to images.
Hideous.
Yeah,
but that's Buggy and Rox, and you look at their wanted posters. They look so.
That's
similar.
Emperor Buggy. That's
Emperor Buggy and Rox. They look so similar. They're just like mirrored, the hand and everything. Oda does not do stuff like this just to do stuff like this. He has reasons for everything that he does.
And there was a line from Shanks in the last chapter. I just was hoping to go around and sail the world with Buggy. I guess, it makes little sense why Buggy is stuck around for so long, despite being a complete and total useless jackass.
Oda also loves Buggy.
Really?
He adores Buggy.
I didn't know that.
Look at Oda's favorite character is Buggy.
I did not know.
If you look at this, you know Oda cares so much for Buggy. You know that even if you look at a lot of like Buggy's storyline, he has a lot of like liberators things, even though he fails. Like he's been at all these very key moments. He's done a lot of very key shit. It wouldn't shock me if he's actually Rox D Buggy or something like that. And he could be a counterpart to Blackbeard.
You keep want to say Beardo.
I did want to say Beardo. I did.
That's a really interesting theory because we know that Roger would take it anyway. That would explain maybe why he's on Roger's crew, even though he sucks.
Yes, because Roger was a true pirate, for lack of a better term. Yeah. But at the same time, he valued freedom. He valued a bunch of good stuff. And we don't know anything about not Nika, but Joy Boy. We don't know anything about Joy Boy. And the theory is that Roger inherited Joy Boy's will. So, and more than likely, Joy Boy had some sort of connection to Roger, or Roger learned about Joy Boy, something.
Oh, Roger knows everything, or knew everything. Roger knew everything.
Prior to Roger going out to be a pirate, he didn't know anything. Roger ended up knowing everything.
Yeah.
But prior to that, so there is a theory that there's some sort of connection because Joy Boy died well before Roger.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's different war. That
Mhm.
Joy Boy's Void Century.
Yes,
Joy Boy died during the Void Century. So
but we
that's
know somehow Joy Boy and not Joy Boy, Gold Roger inherited Joy Boy's will.
well, that means he could well, listen. Roger was friends with Vegapunk, who
Mhm.
had the giant who had that little bit of Joy Boy's hockey in him still at the end of Egghead. So Roger Joy Boy was 800 years ago.
Mhm.
So whatever Joy Boy's will was, if your theory about the will of D being passing on somebody's dreams, which it's a legitimate theory, but I'm not willing to completely back that theory. I think there's more to the will of D.
I think there's a little bit more there. That's just my theory of how I'm dealing with it because I know
Yeah.
the passing of dreams and wills is something that Oda
Yeah,
has.
but I feel like the will of D is a literal force that rises up as a counterbalance to what Emu represents. And that's why the world government is so afraid of the will of D, because Emu is afraid of the will of D. Because that's been repeated over and over again.
Mhm.
And now look at this moment in time right here. In One Piece as it stands. We know that Roger's name is really Gol D. Roger. And his son didn't inherit his will. Portuguese D. Ace used his mother's surname. But because here's where I'm going to kind of throw a monkey wrench to your will thing. If any wills were being passed on, it would be Whitebeard's will to Ace.
Yes.
But Whitebeard isn't will of D.
So the idea of like the will of D is part of it is also this is my theory is that the D is a double meaning. It can either mean destroyer or dreamer. And that whatever the will of D is, we know it's connected to the ancient civilization. Okay, that's the main thing here. So that's why I go to this idea of destroyer or dreamer because there's been a lot of the stuff that Nika is either viewed as the like a liberator or a destroyer, depending on your perspective. So I think Nika, the ancient civilization, and the will of D are all three connected in some way, shape, or form. So when it comes to inherited wills, though, that's a little bit different.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
In
it's
some of
connected.
this.
I don't think
I
I don't feel like it's connected. That's my thing right now.
I think it's partially connected, but not fully connected because we know inherited wills is a thing throughout One Piece.
Oh yeah,
as well.
most definitely, yeah.
And you are correct that Ace 100% took upon Whitebeard's will because he valued more of Whitebeard, even though he did have some of his own father's will within him as well.
Yeah.
To go out there and become a pirate.
Yeah. So I
But
feel
Luffy
but
inherited.
But you look at this era we're in right now, even up and through Ace's death. Look how many D's are running around right now. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Dragon,
Garp,
Luffy,
Teach,
Saul. Saul's alive.
Saul has a D.
Yeah. And I think there's even a couple more out there. I can't recall them at the moment.
It would not shock me if Buggy is a D. Part of me wants to say we technically know that Vivi is a D
because she's part of the Nefertiti bloodline.
Because Lily though, Lily's not a natural D. She just took upon the D.
That came out so wrong.
I know that, but I do believe that the Nefertardis ended up saying that Lily openly, like, she's not naturally a D. She took it upon herself and joined the will of D because she agreed with him. That's why it goes to the idea maybe it's similar to the axe when you put the fist up and everything like that.
But I mean, either way, so there's so many D's out there right now that's why it's all coming to a head because the will of D that's why I think it's a force that is manifesting and it's creating so many in this era that we're in now.
Don't disagree with that because during Vegapunk, we ended up learning that the ancient civilization had the power to manifest dreams, turn dreams into actual energy and capabilities and highly advanced civilizations that could do insane things based on dreams. That's why I think the Will of D is something connected to that as well in the idea of dreams.
Yeah, so it's manifesting in so many right now that one of them will shape and change the world. Now, of course, it's Luffy because he's our protagonist, but there's just so much going on, So much going on right now. But back to the Rox thing. I feel like Rox, he is not the villain he was perhaps portrayed to be early on. And we only thought that because he was opposing Roger, who everybody looks at as a hero of the past.
Mm-hmm. So I think what happened, and this is a theory that I've listened to a couple times, and I don't disagree. And you can see it based on how people manage their ships.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at all the emperors, Shanks is a little different, but you look at like the other three emperors.
Mm-hmm.
They all govern them based on like this kind of authoritarian structure where the captain's the captain. Mm-hmm. And there's always a difference between the power level between the captain and their right-hand men, their mm-hmm. three leaders. There's always a very massive power gap. But when I saw somebody like breaking this down and was like pointing out all these things, one of the problems that Rox had was that he had such a powerful.
It was too powerful.
It was too powerful, and it was too powerful for even him to control.
Yeah, because Shiki's like, I don't care if you die.
Yeah,
you don't care if you die.
Rox's thing was all about getting super powerful people, but none of these people had any respect for loyalty. Or respect for Rox.
None.
Where on the inverse, you had Roger's crew, which these are super powerful people that had respect and loyalty to Roger, and you can see that again forming within the Straw Hats. Super powerful fighters that all have respect and loyalty to Luffy. And you're going to see the same thing happening over there at Teach. None of them really care about Teach. They're only doing this for their own thing. You saw that during the island when they were on Hachinosu and doing all that stuff. They really didn't give a shit. They just wanted to destroy this. They just didn't want it. They didn't want Teach to come by and beat the shit out of them. That's the real reason.
I mean, and look at the other emperors, past and present. Whitebeard. Loyalty. He called them his sons. They were his sons. Even look at Big Mom. It's literally her family by blood and by marriage. And they were all deathly loyal to her. Look at Kaido. Even his cronies were loyal to him. And that's the big difference between family. Now, nobody's loyal to Buggy. They're all afraid of Crocodile and Mihawk, right?
Well, so the lower ranks are loyal to Buggy.
Well, that's because they buy it.
Yeah, they buy into Buggy being that.
Yeah. They bought into the whole Buggy is God thing.
Yeah, Buggy is God. The upper echelons are like, nah, fuck you.
Sorry, Commodore Buggy. He's Commodore Buggy. Commodore Buggy is it's Captain Buggy. Teach is Commodore. Sorry, Teach is Commodore.
Now, I know we're on theory crafting.
Yeah.
And we're talking a lot about Blackbeard and Rox and some of the connections, and we don't know all the connections here. I'm so fucking curious.
Mm-hmm.
Rox is so fucking cool.
Well, you know what I think we're going to get in the next month? We're going to get God Valley.
Oh, we have to get God Valley.
We're getting... Well, you know what I'm saying? That because we've seen Rox's face now. We're going to get God Valley.
I don't think we're going to get God Valley within this year. We are going to get God Valley. We're going to get a retelling of God Valley. But it might wait until we get another moment with Blackbeard. And maybe Blackbeard does like a backstory, because there's another thing that's going on right now in the world of One Piece.
Well, there's several things actually. I mean,
one of the main things is Blackbeard is going.
Well, yeah, he's wiping people out right now, and he's moving towards the revolutionary base right now.
Yes, and sorry, I'm fiddling with something. He's moving towards the revolutionary base, and we also know that his right-hand man, who we know literally nothing about, the white guy, we don't know what his power set is.
He's shown up. He's like sometimes the emissary. I mean, he's got the wings. He's got those wings.
But we don't really know what his powers are. So we don't.
We barely know. We know barely any of the Blackbeard crew's powers. We only know like a couple of them.
We actually know all of them except for his.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So the big guy, like the big guy, he has the
wrestler.
There's the massive guy.
Oh yeah,
the literal giant. He's a giant that ate the giant fruit. So he's bigger than anybody else, and he's about the size of an ancient giant. We know one of them ate the clear fruit. The other one ate the island fruit. one ate the bubble bubble fruit or the glug glug fruit. There's the fox fruit person. There's
I lose
the
track of all who has different powers. I've lost complete track
yes,
at this point.
the sick guy who rides the horse
Oh, we've
ate
seen his
the
powers. We've seen his
yeah
powers. Yeah, yeah.
he ate. I can't remember which one he ate. His horse ate the fruit. I think his horse ate the wing wing.
No, his horse ate the sword fruit. No, I'm thinking of something else. Sorry, I'm thinking of the elephant.
You're thinking of
I'm
the
thinking. I'm
elephant that
thinking of the
became this.
elephant sword fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
Sorry.
well, I think it was
It's
the
way back
sword that ate the elephant fruit. Don't
Whatever.
That's
I'm,
weird.
I'm thinking
But
back to Ennie's lobby. Never
yeah,
mind. Never
yeah,
mind.
but
Animals.
the animal I think ate either the wing fruit or the Pegasus fruit because it's one of the two. I can't remember which one. The one that I don't believe we know his actual powers for is I'm gonna see if I can pull him up because Blackbeard crew One Piece. I'm gonna pull up their wiki real quick just because I can't remember his name for the life of me. I can only Lafitte. This dude. We don't know his powers.
I know who you're talking about. We've only seen him with the wings. Yeah, because he was the one that showed up to offer Blackbeard as a Shichibukai.
Yes. And he's over at last I knew, he's over at Marie Joie right now. They showed him outside Marie Joie, which Marie Joie is being starved out right now by the Revolutionary Army.
That we know, yes. They're having
so
problems.
We have seen him there, and I'm looking at it. I don't think he had. I'm not seeing anything about his
devil wings. He sprouted wings that one time.
I mean, occupation: Titanic captain, navigator, sheriff, formerly a sheriff. Yeah, they don't have anything on what his potential devil fruit would be. Oh, wait, no, devil fruit. Let's see. Devil fruit. Lafayette had eaten an unnamed devil fruit and shown that he can transform his arms into a pair of bird-like wings.
Yeah, see,
so that's all we know about his fruit. We don't know what it does.
probably has more than that, which is probably another legendary zone.
I would probably agree. Maybe an angel fruit.
That's what they'd like to throw on these guys right now.
But out of all the characters in Blackbeard's crew, a lot of them are mysterious, but the main one that nobody knows literally anything about is Lafitte. So the theory is that Lafitte is going to utilize himself right now being at Marie Joie. Blackbeard has Garp. They're going to come in, save Marie Joie, give them the food. Garp's going to become a king. And Garp's going to utilize that to make himself king of the world.
You mean Teach?
Teach, yes. Teach.
Oh, you said Garp. Like, wait, Garp would never.
Yeah, I said Garp. That was my bad. Teach is going to utilize that because we know that Teach wants to be king. We know that Teach wants to make Hatsunotsu a kingdom recognized by the world government.
Interesting.
We know that Rox wanted to be king of the world, and simultaneously, he was a king. He went to a reverie.
Mm-hmm.
So Teach is following hand in hand in his father's footsteps. Still begs the question, how the hell did he follow into his father's footsteps when his father was so much older than him? But
I guess I mean,
a little bit of a retcon.
We'll have to find out the years. I mean, listen, Oda has retconned some things chronologically before.
Yes.
He's done this because he's had all this shit planned out, but sometimes you realize, wow, I needed to make things either longer or shorter periods of time. I mean,
and play around with stuff, and it doesn't matter how many times Gal says it. No, the Sabo wasn't a retcon. Sabo was planned.
Sabo was not a wet retcon. They just conveniently left him off camera in those things so you could have the reveal at the appropriate time. Because here's how we've already been over this. Sabo wasn't a retcon because Ace's tattoo always represented him from the first time we saw him.
Yes.
That's how you know Sabo wasn't a retcon.
That, and also there was always 3 cups.
True. See, the tattoo's my thing. The cups is what you went to. But I know with the tattoo, the S was always crossed out. It was always there. And at the time you realize, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. This tattoo doesn't make sense. Now it makes sense when you go all the way later down the road there. So Yeah, Sabo was not a retcon. Gal was wrong. Dan to Dan.
Yes.
Dan
Dan
anyway.
to Dan.
But
Listen,
yes.
if we also want to point out,
Mm.
Rox was able to go toe to toe with Harold.
Well, we have Harold's. Harold's only been around for 3 chapters. We don't know exactly what Harold's power level is. He's just like ancient giant strength.
Well, we know he's an ancient giant because of the horns.
Yeah.
We also know that he has shown off. We've gotten like glimpses of his overall power level. We don't know if he has a devil fruit or not, but we know that he was like one of their strongest.
I don't think he has
fighters.
a devil fruit. They would have mentioned by now if he had a devil fruit.
True, but we know that he was one of their strongest fighters.
Yeah,
massively powerful.
Yeah, I mean,
and Rox was able to go toe to toe. Rox was able to destroy a fucking gate.
Yeah. No, Rox. Listen, we already knew how powerful Rox was when, as we said earlier, both Roger and Garp had to work together to beat him.
Actually, it wasn't just Roger and Garp. Now that I think about it, it was Roger, Garp, and the Shanks's dad.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Shanks's dad was also involved in that because it was during one of their hunting events and everything like that. That's why God Valley is so
well. I mean, yeah, that's the events. I just didn't know that Shanks' dad was there. I must have again.
Yeah, Shanks' dad was there. He was the one that was potentially a shoo-in to win. So he took a like a negative 10,000 point loss during that entire event, and they still said he was probably going to win.
I missed that. I totally missed that.
Yeah, that's why we have Shanks' dad's canon hair.
Then again, I did read that chapter like a year ago, so it's a while ago when I read it. So
I'm looking up his dad, Figgle and Garland. Yeah, Saint Garland was there at God Valley. We finally have his canon haircut for when he was around Shanks's age.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't good. I'm trying to see if I can find a good picture to show. Yeah, here's this again. No, he's blonde. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here, this is Garland.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, have they animated that? They've animated Kuma's backstory already. Yeah, they've done it.
Yes, they just got done animating.
Kuma's so you see, here's my problem. When I read the manga, I read it so quickly that things don't stick. But when I watch an anime episode, things stick much better.
I kind of agree, especially because I heard tons of praise for how they did Kuma's backstory. Yeah, this is Shanks' dad.
Oh, dude, when they started animating Kuma's backstory, he took over for the "Why don't you give up?" because he never did meme. Kuma took over for that meme for a while.
Yes, people. It's apparently beautifully animated. They did some really unique stuff with both the animation styles, and they built upon his story and a little bit more, and they added a little more. They added a little more and changed it, not like drastically, but they did a very clear
a 2-month break to do Kuma's backstory in the middle of the Battle of Egghead. All right, they took 2 months for that.
Part of it was also they used charcoal for a little while for the animation, so they have a very unique animation style that they do on
the fuzziness of it, the fuzzy thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So in my defense of why I'm forgetting some of these little things here, I read these manga chapters in some cases years ago, and while my memory is as great as it is, I retain better when I'm watching the anime because you know how it is reading a manga. You speed reading a manga. You read the words, you look at the picture, move on to manga. Takes you like 5 minutes to read a 13, 16 page chapter, which is what One Piece is these days. Maximum, it goes 18 pages, maximum for a chapter. When I'm watching an episode of something, it sinks in better for me.
I kind of agree. That's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to Black Clover coming animated, because I read those chapters a year or so ago, actually over a year, 2 years ago. I would like to see them animated because I can't remember certain little things here or there. But when I see it animated, I'll remember it all.
Yeah. With my partial photographic memory, when it's I remember better when it's a moving picture. It locks in better because I see things like a movie in my mind. That's how I replay things. I replay it in my head. Combined with the audio visuals, then it all comes together, and that's how my partial photographing works. So when I'm watching an episode of something, it sticks better than just reading it on the page. That's why I'm forgetting that certain people have certain devil fruit powers. I'm forgetting certain people's last names. I'm forgetting that certain people were at certain places or sometimes here and there. So that's why in our discussion tonight, I've misplaced or misremembered a couple things because it was a year or more ago that I read some of these chapters. And let's be honest, when I'm reading a chapter, I don't go back and reread it again. I read it, I remember the main events, and I move on to the next one. So
I do the same thing.
Yeah,
I need to get caught up on a lot of things recently.
See, that's why I stopped reading manga in general, and I'm waiting for episodes at this point. I enjoy it more. I will, like I said, I went to manga to finish things up, like Claymore when it got butchered, or a couple of a series that weren't going to get endings, animated endings. So I went to them. I went to the manga to catch up and read if I wanted to finish it. Anyway, so go ahead.
I'm so happy with where One Piece is.
Oh, it's exciting. We got at least another, I think, 3 weeks of backstory. I think because they're going to show a couple of fights. They have to show a couple of backstory fights. Loki isn't even we're not even at the murder of Harold yet because we went to Rocks and we're going to get a little rock stuff in there. It's going to be a mix. We got a minimum 2 weeks before we get back to the murder of Harold and the truth of what Loki saw there. And then after that, they still have to decide to, and you have to remember now the group's separated. Only Luffy and Hadrugen stayed behind to talk to Loki. Everybody else, Zoro, Sanji, and the other giant pirates, they went to the fight. They've gone on ahead. So we're about to get split battles, and Luffy's not even going to be there yet. So we're not. Oh God,
we don't have Nika Luffy anywhere near the battle yet. I don't think we're going to get Nika Luffy until after. I want to know what Loki's powers are.
Yeah, Loki says he's stronger than Luffy. That's what he says. We don't know. I've heard people saying, "Oh, he's the strongest person." We don't know. We can see he can take a beating, but we don't know what his powers are.
Loki has said, because already he's super fucking strong without his devil fruits.
Yeah, as a baby, he climbed up a fucking mountain as a newborn to get back up there.
Fucking giant bear as a newborn. He's vicious.
He's massively strong. But my point is this though. Go.
We've also heard that Loki said that his devil fruit is the true sun god. So I'm curious.
Yeah, no, we know that the gum fruit is.
Yeah, we know that the gum.
Nika.
Yeah, we know it's the Nika. So I'm curious what this all means because fruits.
It could be the eclipse fruit. If there's such a thing. If there's the eclipse fruit, who knows? His eyes are certainly like an eclipse, in a way.
I'm looking forward to it.
Right now, it's August to tomorrow. In fact, it's still July where I'm right now. It's going to be August in about another 40 minutes. I don't think we get done with these battles until October.
I don't think we get done with these battles until
minimum October.
Minimum October. I'll give you that.
And that's if Oda extends it a couple pages each week. Don't give us these 13 pages, Oda. Give us at least 16, 17.
Again, the guy that was because he's really speeding through Elbath right now, but at the same time, if he takes a break, what happens? We might have to wait until December.
Listen, we're not getting off Elbath this year.
That's true. I don't think we're getting off Elbath.
Even when the battle's over, there's going to be the fallout, the the cleanup.
I think I still lean on there's going to be a time skip.
I remember you telling me that. I don't know because you mentioned Luffy might have to level up. I don't know. We haven't seen how Luffy measures up to these saints that are running around up there.
We don't. Yes, you're right. We haven't seen that.
And Zoro. At most, you maybe might get a month because Zoro, due to Ya saying you got to learn how to use your Honker's Kaki. You can't be backing up your captain with unutilized power. There might be a short period of time where you're going to say they might go through a hell of a battle and there might be a recovery period coming up where they might be down for about a couple of weeks, but Zoro's got to learn how to use his Conqueror's Haki.
Yes, that's why you have Scopper Gaban there.
Yeah, but and you understand, and it makes sense for the king's right and left hands to know Conqueror's Haki because Rayleigh knew it. Rayleigh's one of the first times we knew what we were seeing when he did Conqueror's Hockey when he first appeared. I mean, now we know in retconning that Shanks used Conqueror's Hockey in that very first chapter when he made the Sea King stop.
Mhm.
That was Conqueror's Hockey.
But Zoro needs to learn how to utilize his Conqueror's Hockey,
and
Sanji needs to learn Conqueror's Hockey, and then on top of that, when you were watching the others do their fights, they were getting their asses kicked.
Yeah, we haven't seen Jinbei fight. Jinbei has been in there, and listen, we haven't seen Robin fight either. Robin has not been.
So
Robin's been she's in the library,
but she did fight against.
Well, no, that was so much a fight. She was trying to stop it. She was trying to stop the thorns, but that was hurting her.
That was the closest thing to a fight because
But that could be just a bad matchup. You know how it can go.
It is a bad matchup, but that was showing off one of the big weaknesses of her abilities is that she can't touch him at all. So there's go ahead. She might get armor hockey.
Well, that would be interesting because remember, Robin, the flower fruit is massively powerful, but she feels all the damage she takes on her clones.
Mm-hmm.
She feels it. So if she would learn armament hockey, then that would be good. But so I can see what you're saying.
It would make her overpowered, but it would be because outside of Jinbei and then the Beast Trio or the Monster Trio, the rest of the crew.
They're a couple tiers down. I mean, listen, Nami never was a fighter, although with what's his name, the Thundercloud, I forgot his name. Zeus. With Zeus, she can do some crazy shit. She can do some crazy shit. If Usopp wasn't such a fucking pussy, he could be deadly with his sniping abilities. But he's a fucking pussy.
But we also know that Usopp has tapped into hockey.
Yeah.
Perception hockey. But
yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, the rest of the crew hasn't leveled up enough. You're right.
Chopper needs to fully awaken.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess I see your point. I don't know if there'd be a time skip, but there has to be some sort of training arc. There has to be a training arc for the rest of the crew.
When I say time skip as well, I don't think it's going to be a 3-year time skip.
Well,
I see going to be something like that.
I say what you're saying. I see what you're saying because when you line them up, the Straw Hats are powerful, but there's a cap on their power because of the lower ranks of the crew. Because you look at the other challengers, the other major crews, none of them, only I think the Monster Trio and Jinbei are the only ones who could go toe to toe with members of we'll just say the Blackbeard pirates. They're all insanely strong. Or even the red hair pirates. They're all massively strong. So you're right. We do need a power upgrade in terms of skills and abilities for the rest of the Straw Hats. You're right. You're not wrong.
And we also know that the red hair pirates are going to end up showing up on Elbath. Or they're there already. Because that's one of their islands.
Way. They're on their way.
That's one of their islands. They're going to show up. We know Usopp's dad is going to have to see his son.
That's a reckoning that's been brewing for 20 years.
I also wonder if what might end up happening is the red hairs are going to end up helping train so you think it's going to be a passing of the baton? I think it's going to be a passing of the baton because I think I heavily think Shanks is going to die. It's going to be sad because I think Blackbeard's going to kill Shanks and the red-haired pirates, they love Luffy. Luffy loves the red hairs. It's a there was a joke
passing a baton in the last chapter. Oh, they're talking about Shanks again. Don't you talk bad about Shanks? Shut up. Yeah. Making fun of you, not Shanks. You're not. Those are some good thoughts, and I can't completely disagree with your line of thought because when you break it down like that, every time one of the non-top tier Straw Hats win a fight, it's through luck or trickery. Luck or trickery. So they can't fight top tier officers of other crews.
If you want another example of why they need to level up, how much time has Luffy had to actually engage with his Nika powers? How much time has he actually had that?
I would say about 2 or 3 months now, maybe 2
Yeah,
months.
he doesn't know his Nika powers.
And
remember what
he
happened.
runs out of juice quickly. He runs it. Now listen, his time in Gear 5 has extended. We've seen him go longer, but when he's done, and he's down for the count until he can regenerate. I mean, meat solves all problems. Meat
solves all problems.
Pocket full of meat will always solve a problem.
Yes.
But it's same as like just to make a comparison of a contemporary. When during the later arcs of Bleach, the original arcs, the Arrancar arc and the Huecomundo arc, Ichigo's Vizard state was constantly getting longer and longer than the 10 seconds. He was able to go longer and longer, and he kept using it. It's similar to Luffy in Gear 5. He's able to use it for longer and longer periods of time right now and do more crazy shit with it. So I think the more he uses it, the more he gets used to it and knows how to balance it and not go all out.
I don't disagree with that, but we're in like those final stages where every time you do something, it kind of matters. So he needs to be able to at least understand his abilities.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, if you want another example as to why they really need to level up, go back to the end of Egghead.
Oh, they had to run in terror.
Yes. You're about to go up against multiple people like that.
And we're talking about not just Saint. We're talking about the Elder Saints, the planets.
You're going to have to go up against them here soon. And you struggled with one.
Well, no, actually, there were all of them. They were all there.
Yeah.
They were all there. And between Luffy and Zoro and Sanji and Bonnie, they were able to repel them. But that's Zoro, who is at least only one level below Luffy. He's one tier below. Sanji, he's almost on Zoro's level. And Bonnie was fighting above her weight class using Nika powers. And Luffy was giving it his all there. So they were taking on multiples. So they were able to take on the planets, but they had to struggle because the others just ran in terror. They just ran in terror.
Yeah, but the others ran in terror. They struggled to take on the planets, but these are going to be some of your final bosses. These are some of the people that you need to overcome. And struggling is one thing. They got their asses kind of handled to them, and they really had issues. They had to end up getting help from Dory and Brogy. And now you're seeing what Emu can do. Emu's had plenty of time to understand his particular devil fruit. Luffy hasn't had that time to understand the full extent of the Nika fruit. There needs to be something that goes on for
it's
a month or two of training.
Oda's going to have to write a really good reason that they take a time skip. Now, I'm always all for time skips, especially training time skips. I love training time skips. But it's going to have to be worked in really well. And also, this is a rumor I heard a long time ago that based upon one of the intros for the last round of seasons, that Vivi's going to get Kuma's devil fruit. Somebody threw that. I thought based upon some imagery in one of the intros, I heard that rumor thrown out there last year that Vivi's going to end up getting Kuma's devil fruit. And of course, we know what that devil fruit is like when it's fully understood and used. Kuma was a beast. And that would put Vivi back in then as a full-time Straw Hat. Because Vivi's on her way. She's on her way to reuniting. She's just taken for goddamn ever to get there.
I have a feeling like that Luffy's going to end up going up against Emu. I don't know if he'll fully be... No, like on Elbath.
Well, Emu's possessing Brook's daughter right now. That's the thing.
I don't know if he's going to be able to fully overcome Emu. I think he's going to be able to push.
He's going to drive him out. I think he's going to drive him out. It's because the thing, it's Emu, but it's Emu possessing, so it's not full power. And I think Luffy's going to have a tough time, but I think Luffy's going to overcome and force it out, and then that's going to be the end of it. Once Emu's gone, what's going to happen is I think our upcoming heroes, including Loki and the others, they're gonna beat down the the giant captains who are all possessed right now. They're gonna beat them down. It's gonna be glorious. Maybe even Usopp will have a man moment and man up because he idolizes Dory and Brogy.
Yes.
He idolizes them. So maybe he'll have a man up moment and actually do something fucking cool for once. But yeah, so it's going to be a knockdown drag out fight. I don't think they're going to struggle. Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to struggle in this fight as much as you think they are. I think that Luffy and the boys are going to do okay, and Loki's going to be pretty badass, I think, when he gets in there.
I think Loki's going to be the reason they win, because I think we don't know Emu's full extent of his powers. We know that he can summon a fucking shotgun. He can do all sorts of crazy stuff, and he can bring people to his side. The other possibility that
he warps them by grabbing their deepest, darkest, whatever they hold in them.
Oda has essentially said that it's akin to a Japanese game. I can never remember the name of it, but it's like Flipper. So you have black and white tiles, and
they were playing the game. They were playing it. It's called Show. I forget what it's called. Go. It's called Go.
Yeah. So his powers are very similar to that. You know, even Oda has said, yeah, it took that idea. So when he has those people, his whole thing is put two on each side. I flip those.
Yeah.
So the theory is then that Luffy would be the opposite. So he needs to figure out how to.
And at the same time, Luffy does have, and I've said this, since we're talking about the site, I'm putting it out there. I have said that I think Bonnie is also going to be a Straw Hat. After her backstory, Bonnie's also going to remain a Straw Hat, and she's like a great backup for Luffy because she's essentially Nika Jr.
I think there's a lot of people think that there's going to be one more Straw Hat member. I think we're about to get 3 Straw Hat members.
Originally, Oda said there was going to be 13 in the picture Luffy drew way, way, way back in the day, but we've got very few major islands left, and during major arcs, when Luffy usually picks somebody up, he picked up Bonnie in the last arc, and now I'll be fascinated if somehow Loki joins. It would be cool.
Actually,
I just needed to make it make sense in terms of him being on the ship. You know,
there might be 4. There might be 4 because I completely forgot about Vivi when I said 3.
Vivi is coming back. She's always going to be coming back.
I think there's 4 people that are about to be a part of the Straw Hats fully.
Yeah,
Bonnie, Loki, Vivi, and they need to go back and grab Kaido's daughter.
You think they're going to get shit? I just forgot her name, and I want to get it right because she's a girl. Yamato. Yeah, I keep her Viva card right here on my desktop always, so that whenever the morons start crying about her again, I can just throw it out there and say no.
Yamato right now she does the intro story. Oda's been doing her as the cover stories right now.
Really? In the the intro. Yeah, he's traveling around Wano doing heroic things for people. Yeah.
And we were seeing I can't remember their name, the remainder of the upper echelons. Those two of them. I can't remember what their names were. But there's 2 members from Kaido's crew that are starting to follow her around, and we're seeing that they're actually decent people. The one the one with the heady dinosaur and the Spinosaurus guy. He's traveling they're traveling with him.
Okay.
I can't remember page 4, I think, and I don't remember the other one.
It's like Duchess or Precious something. So it was like
I don't remember their names off the top of my head right now, but I think Yamato said that she would not join Luffy's thing until she was done taking on Kaido's travels throughout Wano. And Luffy never said yes or no to her. Luffy never said it. He was just like, do your thing first, and then we'll talk about it. So I think Yamato's going to join Luffy.
She's a powerhouse. She's a fucking powerhouse.
She's a fucking powerhouse, and I think Luffy
he froze.
Really did like Yamato.
There you are. You froze for a second there. You're back. You're fine now. You're fine. You just froze for a second.
Okay.
Actually,
I'm
you're
looking at
you're
myself, I'm
lagging a
glitching
little bit. You're lagging just a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. I
I
think that's enough theory crafting for this week, for this month. Anyway, yeah, we're done. We'll be back next month. The battle will be underway. We'll finish Loki's backstory, hopefully. And we'll talk more. So look forward to this next month. We spent like an hour and a half on that.
This is why we have to save it for the end, because we'll
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, we learned last month when we started talking before we got to Gundam. Yeah, we got to stop because we're not going to talk about our main event this week. Anyway, so we're going to wrap it up tonight. Jeremy, what you got going on rest of the week?
We got Ball Busters tomorrow night. No guest. It might be a weird night because in reality, all we have really to talk about is
Yeah, I didn't find anything
Nazis
for
and
you this week.
jeans.
There was like nothing weird that I saw this week to send over.
Like I have a few things. I might bring up the pedo voice actor
all right.
allegations.
I've got some transitions that might lead to funny conversations, but that's about it.
I got
all
a few transitions too.
Oh, I got tons. They've been piling up for weeks.
I guess like the main topics tomorrow night that we're going to be talking about is censorship, government bad, and Nazi genes. That's about it. There's nothing else that has happened.
Yeah.
Because you guys aren't going to care about what's going on in the VTuber world right now because there's not a whole lot. But it feels like there's about to be another big reveal.
And you already do that on streams anyway. You don't do that on Ballbusters. The Ballbusters audience doesn't want that. They just don't. They don't.
Most of my audience doesn't want that. I've been losing subs this week, but I don't give a shit.
Oh, we don't talk about losing subs. I went up yesterday. I went up several. I'm a net loss today. I'm a net loss for the week.
I just love how YouTube now tells you every time you lose subs.
I turn that shit off. I leave analytics open all the time and I check it throughout the day. Yeah, I'm still at a net loss of 1 for the week. All my gains for the week wiped out overnight. And I was getting subs yesterday. People were liking my shitting on the Star Trek Academy trailer. They were liking that. It caught on a little bit. And nope. So yeah, YouTube is asshole today. YouTube's been asshole since yesterday.
YouTube's been asshole for a while.
All right. As for me, tomorrow is Friday. I'll be on Ballbusters. Tomorrow we got Daily Dive. I'll be doing my Death Note 2017 live action review live on stream per the arrangements. And then I'll be saying I watched Dragon Ball Evolution this week, Jeremy.
You actually have my condolences there.
It wasn't, as I said the other day when I did my review, and which I will be posting under a new series. Chat made me watch this reviews. It's like they knew words from Dragon Ball and just said them.
The Kamehameha.
Or the all those things. They knew these words, but they don't actually have the right meanings or events. It was complete nonsense. The chicks were all hot, but the movie was nonsense. It wasn't even remotely Dragon Ball. And I asked this question, and nobody's answering this. Did Toriyama Sensei have any influence on this movie at all?
I don't think so.
Because it's not Dragon Ball. There's no Dragon Ball in there. And we're talking OG Dragon Ball. We're not talking Z where we get Saiyans and all that shit. We know what Goku's a Saiyan by then. No, I'm talking just the OG stuff. None of it's in there. I was insulted watching this movie.
They had a green man with sort of antennae named Piccolo.
No, they didn't.
He was a demon.
No, he was an alien. They said he was an alien, but they didn't say where. And they even used the word Namekian at one point. But why? At that point, you don't know he's from Namek. That's Z context. That's not OG context. They called Goku Ozaru, but that's not his name. That's just translation of giant ape. And he wasn't even giant ape.
Giant ape. He's a werewolf.
Giant ape. Yeah,
he's like a werewolf.
Were-ape. Yeah, he's like, Arr! So it's just, and they don't even give Chow Yun Fat. Didn't even have Roshi beard, man. You couldn't even put Master Roshi's beard on him.
At least he was a pedo. Not pedo, but
barely a gooner. Barely a gooner. He didn't ask Bulma to show him her tits once. Didn't ask her once. So that movie was a disaster. And I'm halfway through this and Abomination of Death Note 2017 Netflix Death Note, and I don't like Death Note to begin with, but even I can say this movie is an abomination. It's just completely wrong in all aspects. Even the premise of what it is. I'll go over it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. So that's tomorrow on Daily Dive, amongst other things. Then tomorrow night, Ballbusters. I will be there this week. Back to normal. Saturday Night Drive-In. We're watching Idiocracy. Jed's never seen it before. It was his choice too. It's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna have fun with that because we're living in Idiocracy. The roots are still being planted for Idiocracy. They still are.
I have a feeling that Jed's gonna come out and go like, I didn't find it that funny for the same reason I didn't find it that funny.
Oh,
we live in this right now. It's terrifying.
Well, I watched it before it was happening. So I mean,
I watched it while it was happening. It wasn't that funny. It was just sad.
I love
that chair.
No, that chair is. I am not gonna sit where I shit while watching television. No,
I feel like that's a smart idea.
No, it's not. That's disgusting. Leave me alone. I'm baiting. The thing about that, you're sitting on your shitter, eating food out of a bucket while masturbating. That's what that chair is.
I don't care about the food or anything else. I just want a chair that I can sit in, that's comfy, that I can also go.
All right, no, listen. Here's how I know we're going to be where we're there. The minute I walk into Costco and says, "Welcome to Costco, I love you." Nobody says that to me yet. No one has said to me when I go to Costco, "Welcome to Costco, I love you." No one said that to me yet.
Oh, Costco, I love you.
Welcome to Costco.
We need to go to Starbucks.
No, Costco. Yeah. So we're gonna have fun with that, Jed. I'm sure Jed's gonna enjoy it, and we're gonna be plenty of commentary. Then we got co-op on Saturday night. Next week, I do have Prof has unloaded his next game on me. Although, and we have proven that I'm better at Outlast than you are. We've proven that now, apparently.
You played Outlast 2.
Yeah. So?
Not Outlast 1. Outlast 2 was a completely different game.
Yeah, but it was still full of the crazy shit that made you cry. And I didn't budge for 3 hours. They made me play that game for 3 hours. So I got plenty of it. I was more frustrated than how the game works.
My weakness is horror games. Shut up.
Listen, I said you guys might get jump scares out of me, but they got like this much of a jump scare at one point because I just went, they got that much out of me. I was more frustrated with the gameplay. I didn't like the gameplay. I don't like running from shit.
I have a question for you.
What?
This is an idea. Have you played I just had the game Until Dawn?
No.
That might be a game that you need to play, and then a movie you need to watch.
Oh joy!
I watched the movie.
Well,
that is not Until Dawn.
Well, anyway, so I'm leaving up the Outlast stream because it was part of the deals, and my next game I have to play next week is House Flipper. Prof got me House Flipper.
Isn't that like Power Wash Simulator?
It's like renovating houses and selling them.
Yeah,
but then he said he also scheduled something horrible today for me now too.
It's one of those chill, calm games.
Yeah, it's one of those chill games. So I think we're gonna stream it next Tuesday before I do another solo gaming stream. I think that's the plan right now. But yeah, so I don't know. But then he said he just scheduled something horrible for me. So
I might do this whole, give me a game, buy me a game, and I'll play it. I might do that.
Yeah, I mean, I do it at $10 for 30 minutes. That's what I do. $10 for 30 minutes because that's reasonable. It's the chat and I agreed upon it. We agreed upon it that works. But the way I do it is for it started as reviews, but now I feel like it's a stream. And the problem is they know what I'm suffering because they can see how either bored or frustrated I am. But I have to keep going because Outlast 2 was just frustrating. I was like, can I just end this now, please? I'm hating this. It's terrible. But I haven't deleted it in case they make me play it again. So, anyway.
Although if it's a horror game, I'm going to say this here. It needs to be a little bit more money, and I'll make a big stream out of it.
Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, we... hey, listen. It's working. And it's terrible, and I hate it, but... The chat loves it, and that's why we do it. The chat loves it. The chat gets what they want. So there it is, guys. We're going to wrap it up here then. Thank you, everybody, for watching us on both our channels. Hit those like buttons. Subscribe to the channels. And we'll see you next time. Until everybody, bye. Bye.
Until then, bye.
Bye.